Abbot.
Oh, no.
So, Alex is having a little lie down, apparently, and we have been joined by someone from Daytime, who never normally works at this hour of the day. Hope you're getting extra. Helen, ready?
Yes.
It took a while, didn't it? Yeah, you're ready. Whatever you hear on the air, there are no problems here. However it might sound at home, we have no problems here. Oh no, the red phone's going. Lucy, ready?
Ready.
Oh! This man is a deadly winking, sniggering, snuggling, chromium-plated, scent-impregnated, luminous, quivering, giggling, fruit-flavoured, mincing, ice cream-covered heap of mother love. That's what the columnist Cassandra called Librace. Can you believe it? That's when Librace sued him because he had suggested in his column that Liberace was gay, and he said, "Oh, no, I'm not." And he won. I think I mentioned that last week. Actually won with that. So, has anybody been arrested and blamed the Jews for all the wars in the world this week? No? Anybody got off their bike and failed 2 drug tests? No? Anybody accidentally shot by the police? Boom! Oh, sorry about that. It's because I'm wearing gloves. Amazing. Anyway. Oh, this feels really weird. I'm wearing somebody else's headphones. It feels like my head's in like a vice-like grip. Bayer headphones. Anytime you see a picture of a DJ and he's got headphones around his neck, that's what he's wearing. And I only know that people in radio use these headphones. It's because they clamp onto your ears so tightly that no noise bleeds out, so it doesn't howl around in the mic. But by doing that, by clamping on so tightly, like my ears are already sweating. I've only been wearing these things for like 2 minutes because I forgot my own. Apparently you're not supposed to bring your own.
Aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, lots of people do.
It's a contractual obligation that you don't bring your own.
Can ears sweat?
Mine are. Right now, I've got rivulets dripping down the side of my head.
Horrible thought.
It's like I've got 2 greasy ovens on each side of... Because other people have been wearing these headphones, of course, and they're slimy.
Ah.
We're going to mention the names of all the people who work here, and we're going to put it out as a poll. Which person on the air here do you think has the slimiest head? So that'll be the poll this evening. No. It won't. I've got some headphones coming your way. Oh, really? And where did you find those?
Well, we've got some down in the office that are a lot lighter. And look nicer, and I think...
Look nicer?
Well, no, they're lighter.
Like?
They won't clamp on your head.
Excellent.
And make your ears sweat.
Because I don't think I could do this for 3 hours. How does anybody manage
what
it?
What if you try lobbing it off one ear? Does that make it any better?
Well, yeah, I can pull it out, but then I can't actually hear anything that's happening. Anyway, regardless of this... there was a poll during the week about the most irritating things. I don't know who did this. Oh, lacto-free. It was always one of these companies that's got... a little while ago there was a poll that said most people in this country want the speeding limit to be reduced to 40 on A roads from 60. Did you read about that? Yeah, the majority of people in this country want to forego the opportunity to drive at 60 miles an hour on A road. Of course, you can hardly ever do that. And to drive at 40. That's what a poll said. And the poll was conducted by, guess who? That's right, an insurance company. Jeremy Clarkson was talking about this in his column in The Sun today, which wasn't a great column. You know, you can't be funny every week. I mean, just look at this show. But he was quite right to be stunned at that information, that it was and they were reporting it as news on the BBC. It was just reading it out as though these were the facts, Jack. That, you know, if you want to engage in a study to find a result, then you will always find the result that you're looking for. That's the nature of scientific investigation. And that's why they have double-blind studies, where neither the subject nor the scientist involved knows which pill you're getting, or whatever it might be. But if you go out with the intention of getting a result, then you'll get it. Even if you don't intend to, you're led that way. Now what you doing? Oh, she's been caught out. at home?
Well, I found you some headphones.
Yes, anything other than these,
but,
please. I'm
there's
begging
a problem
you.
though.
Oh,
Jack.
God.
Look, the jack's too
A
small.
mini jack.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll call engineering.
Well, they're already on their way.
Are they?
Yes.
Oh, great. Well, they'll bring a key to the cupboard, and eventually we'll get it sorted. Let's take our first call, which is in, as usual. Oh, blimey, this is so embarrassing. Broadcasting London here. The first call last week and the first call this week is about 300 miles away.
Oh.
Hey, Louise.
Hi, Nick. I'm sorry. I'll stop phoning.
No, don't say. It's nothing to do with you. It's it's everybody else that seems to be slow off the mark. It's very steamy out. Maybe that's what it is.
I love LBC. It's Bennett rubbish that we get here.
Is it? Well, okay. Let's name the stations that are rubbish that you get there. Barnsley.
Well, there's one.
Barnsley FM. Hey.
Yeah, there's one that's your sister station, isn't?
There's what?
Well, the chocolate bar one.
The chocolate bar one.
Yeah.
Yorkie? Cadbury's? Dairy
The
Milk?
Galaxy one, part of you.
Galaxy. Oh, Galaxy.
Yeah, another part of you, but...
Are they? Oh, they're very good.
And there's a lot of other crappy local
Yeah,
ones.
anyway.
Anyway, how are you, then?
I'm all right. What have you been up to?
Nothing real. My mum and dad got back, which is good.
Your mum and dad got back.
Yeah, which is good. Because last week I was telling you they were supposed to be back home at 9 and it's still about 10.
Yeah, well, you were dog sitting, right?
Yeah, and they got me an iPod for it, which is good.
Wow. That's a particularly well-paid job. You took care of the dog and they got you an iPod, without mentioning any brand names. iPod, you say?
Yeah, iPod.
And what have you put on it?
Oh, my head candy.
James Blunt.
No, I him. Yes, right, you know, annoying things, annoying people.
Yeah.
Right, isn't that, what's he called, that Russell Brand? Who does Big Brother's little brother? He's annoying.
Well, a lot of people say he's very funny. I've only seen him every now and again, but the thing that I the thing that I thought about him as soon as I saw him was that this is a very stylised act, and stylised acts often have a short shelf life. I mean, he's really flying at the moment. His show on another station, the podcasts are through the roof, and he's got that Channel 4 gig, and he's doing stand-up. He actually got booed off stage doing stand-up the other day. Did you see that?
He's not that funny, though. He's just annoying. He just runs around saying things that he thinks are going to shock people, like boobies or stuff like that, you know.
Like what?
Saying stuff like boobies and things like that, like
Oh, right.
going to shock people.
Yeah, well, you know,
He made me angry when I saw him. I wanted to throw my
there's a lot to be said for boobies. But no, he got booed off stage. I believe he was doing his stand-up act, and people weren't paying attention, and people started, if you're doing a stand-up, you absolutely have to command the stage, and he didn't. And he got ratty with the audience, and they told him to go forth, and which he did.
Good.
So, right.
The reason why he's doing well is because of all the little teenage girls saying, "Oh, he's cute." No.
He's not cute. He looks like a drug addict to me. He looks like the guy that was on the poster for heroin. You remember that the government used to advertise heroin?
Didn't they?
Yeah, they used to have some guy who looked like he was shivering in an alleyway somewhere, and basically the message was, if you don't want to look like this, don't take heroin. But teenage girls up and down the country thought he looked so nice that they were putting the picture on the wall just because they fancied him.
Oh.
So the message didn't really get through. But, that's governments and the message on drugs. No one's listening to them.
Yeah, exactly. Just look at Pete Doherty or whatever he's called. That's why he shouldn't take jokes.
They kind of look like brothers, yeah.
Yeah.
He looks like he's just strayed out of Withnail and I.
Yeah. I don't know what that is.
It's a movie. You've got to go and rent it. It's one of the funniest films ever. Withnail and I. Pronounced Withnell.
Right, I'll remember that.
All right, well, you got homework.
Yeah, I am. I mean, I don't want to say it.
All right, well, listen, thanks a lot, Louise.
Alright, then, see ya.
Ta-ra.
Bye.
Don't let the North bring you down. The most irritating... Where's Helen gone now? Oh, blimey, it's all falling apart.
She's gone to find you the piece to put onto these headphones.
Ah, right, bless her. Singer James Blunt is more irritating than traffic wardens, noisy neighbours and estate agents, according to a poll ranking the UK's most annoying things. Lucy, what's the most annoying thing you can think of? Off the top of your head, straight away, answer now.
Parking tickets.
How many parking tickets have you ever had? None, I bet you.
I have.
You were breaking the law.
Well, they're very irritating, aren't they?
Well, yeah, but I just don't believe that... that's the most irritating thing that you can think of.
But you said at the top of your head, and that was the most irritating thing.
Really? Have
I
you
could
just
think
had
of.
one then?
No, not for a couple of months.
Last one I had was when the clocks went forward or back. When the clocks changed, and I didn't change the clock in my car, and so I thought, I've got half an hour, easy, and I didn't. I was already illegal when I stepped out of the car. Damn it! But you can't explain your way out of those things, can you? You just got to pay quickly, and then you can get away with 40 quid or 60 quid or, your right arm or whatever it happens to be these days.
I don't mind so much, but when the man's still there doing the ticket, that's more annoying than if he's already gone.
Well, don't they have the power to stop writing the ticket? I think you've got 5 minutes grace period, don't you?
Yes, but I got there at 5 minutes grace period.
Oh, is that what he said?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, he would, wouldn't he?
He was smiling as I approached him, and he went, "You're too late."
Huh.
I said, "Oh, great." Yeah.
They hide round corners. They spot your car, they put your details into the thing, and then they hide around the corner in case anybody spots them doing it, and so that and then they write it out, and then 5 minutes later they nip around the corner and stick one on you.
I know. And even if they're still doing it, they say, "Sorry, it's too late, it's processed now." I don't believe that.
No, I don't believe that either. Traffic wardens are unpopular at the best of times, it says in this article. But sometimes they just don't do themselves any favours. One of them slapped a parking ticket on a truck which got stuck in a hole after the road collapsed beneath it. The lorry's front wheel stuck into the tarmac up to its axle after water leaking from a burst main weakened the road surface. But as the driver fretted about how he was going to move his stricken truck, a traffic warden issued him with a parking ticket. Sue Melkman, who witnessed the incident in Belsize Park, North London, said there was water everywhere. It was obvious what had happened, but she still wrote the ticket. She wouldn't even engage in conversation. All she would say was, "You can appeal." Nice. I witnessed the oddest thing the other day. There were two cars were parked identically badly, just outside where I live, and wardens drove up in a car, because they didn't walk around. They drove up in a car and parked badly, issued only one ticket with the car, got in and drove away, leaving one fine. I mean, there was no difference between the two cars at all, but they left one alone and ticketed the other. Maybe it was a friend of theirs. Very
weird.
That is weird.
Maybe only one of them had gone over the time period. Maybe they didn't care.
No, it was a yellow line.
Oh, I see.
And what's the law on yellow lines? I thought it was after 6:30, it's fine on a yellow line. And then I looked it up and it said, oh, no, apparently not. Each yellow line differs.
Yeah.
You're looking stunned.
No, well, you can. I park on the yellow line outside here at the back any time after 1:30, I think, on a Saturday.
Yeah, but you have to look for the sign that says it's okay. But I never see those. Where are those signs? There are no signs.
They're quite little. They make them littles, just to catch you out.
They make them invisible. They make them and then they don't stick them anywhere near, a yellow line. I've never seen a sign that tells you when you can and cannot park on a yellow line.
Well, they're in yellow, aren't they, as well? That's the clue.
Now you're treating me like an idiot. Anyway, how are we doing on headphones? I don't think I can do 3 hours like this. My hair's already wet with sweat.
Well, you're going to have to keep wet a little bit longer.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be too much longer. Engineer man's on his way.
Is he?
It's an emergency.
It is an emergency. Speed your way here. All right, we'll go away and come back.
This month at LBC, we're aiming to raise £100,000 for Nordhoff Robbins Music Therapy.
I'm Tom Bateman, and I'm one of the radio riders.
Nick Abbott.
So I believe you have a test of some kind.
I do, yes.
You've actually prepared something.
Yes, I have.
What is it?
I have prepared a style quiz in a similar fashion to the one that you give me from the Times.
Right, which you normally fail really badly.
Well, so I thought it's time to see if you failed or passed my quiz.
I'm sure I like your attitude.
And this quiz has been researched by me.
And me.
And Helen helped too, yes.
How many questions are there?
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5...
72, 73, 74, 75...
You've got about 20 questions.
20?
Roughly, yeah.
Can we do them in short bursts, or does it have to be all...
Do you want dribs and drabs?
Yeah. Okay. Hang on a minute, though. Thousands of undergraduates. So, what's the pass rate on this?
On your quiz?
Yeah.
Well, it's like the up and down, so...
Right, well, what's the pass rate?
Well, I think you need to get...
Oh, no, you're just making it up.
Yeah, of course. About, what should we say, over 13?
Oh, I was going in
13?
percentages, yeah, 85%.
85% to be a real man?
What?
No, that's far too high.
No.
I think we should go 70%.
You don't even have to get above 85% in the test to become a brain surgeon in this country. Joking? Thousands of undergraduates are so poor at spelling and grammar that a special dictionary has been launched to help improve their basic writing skills. Undergraduates, right? People who've been judged to be so brainy that they can go to university, can't spell. The compact Oxford English Dictionary for Students was produced because lecturers were complaining about the time they spent teaching undergraduates how to construct sentences and essays. This is amazing. It follows a study by the Royal Literary Fund which highlighted the need for improvement in undergraduates' communication skills. As well as more than 150,000 words, the dictionary includes a section covering basic grammar, punctuation and letter writing. What's even worse is the thing about nurses. I'll go to that in a minute. Catherine Soanes, the editor, said, "We're aware that over the past 18 months there's been a growing need for students to be supported when they get to college. We hope this book will be a useful tool." And they say that the examinations haven't been dumbed down. But nurses, this is scary. I'll test you with this. This is okay, these are the people that are actually you're going to be charging to take care of you. Oh, they look lovely. They look like, see, these are like clamping two Hummers to your head.
Yeah.
Whereas the one that you've just given me doesn't come out. This looks like a pair of Ferraris. Are these Nick's headphones?
No, they're not.
Whose headphones are they?
Steve Campen's.
Anyway, can we start the show again? Nurses. A third of nurses expecting to graduate next month have failed a basic English and maths test set by a hospital as part of a new selection process. As nurses must be able to calculate drug doses and keep accurate notes, this high failure rate has alarmed the hospital and Nursing and Midwifery Council. The questions involve simple arithmetic and everyday comprehension. And you read that and you think, oh, simple arithmetic, that's going to be quite hard then. No. This is scary. 13 of 40 nurses completing training at the Canterbury Christchurch University, the first to take the 20-minute test, failed to achieve the 60% pass rate. You only have to get barely above half right. One question is, you ready? If a night shift starts at 8 o'clock at night, is it the same as 1800, 1900, 2000 or 2100 hours?
20.
Well, you don't have to answer it. I'm assuming that you know. You were so pleased with yourself. You answered in unison.
You'd even been writing it down.
You leant forward as though we were on Mastermind or something. Like this was University Challenge and reaching for the buzzer. Calm down. The nurses are understood to be products of the British school system. That's about the most withering sentence that you'll read today. This was in the Telegraph. The nurses are understood to be products of the British schools system. Traditionally, the Hospital Trust has drawn nurses from the university, and most have been training on the wards. As the competition for jobs becomes fiercer, the test has been introduced as part of the selection process. The Nursing and Midwifery Council, which runs the nursing register, has become worried about falling standards in education. And you read this all the time. You know, the Institute of, the IOD, Institute of Directors and, bosses of companies, forever we're reading that people are saying, you know, the British school system and the British university system are just sending us dopes. They don't know anything. They don't know how to spell, they don't know how to speak, they don't know how to address each other, they can't add. What are they actually learning? That's a direct question to you, Helen.
What was the dress each other bit? What do you mean by that?
Julie Barton, the Deputy Director of Nursing at the East Kent Trust, said, "It was surprising when we found out the number of people who had not reached the mark of 60%, especially as they've completed their training and have had to have had GCSE English and Maths to get on the course." So you can get a GCSE. Is that an A-level or is that one below? I don't really know. Because I did Scottish exams.
One below, I think.
One below, right. So you can get an A-star GCSE in Maths and not know the answer to this question. Answer me this. Ambulance staff have a holiday entitlement of 27 days per year. rising to 33 days after 10 years' service. Putting the small number first, how many must you add to get the larger number? In other words, what's 33 minus 27? And it's not even an open question. They give you options. 4, 5, 6 or 7. You're taking a long time about this, Helen. 33 minus 27.
I didn't understand the question.
The question is, what's 33 minus 27? How many do you have to add to 27?
6.
To get to 33?
6.
6.
Right.
Oh.
Is that right?
No, but thanks for playing. It is right. Under the agenda for change, all directly employed staff of the NHS will work 37.5 hours per week. You're going to be amazed at this. Right. So now you might think that presages a difficult question coming up. I mean, what could they possibly ask here? Under the agenda for change... Agenda for change? They probably paid £500,000 for a consultant to come up with a name of that. Under the agenda for change, all directly employed staff of the NHS will work 37.5 hours per week. Now, what do you think that the question might be? Something like how many hours would that be in a year? Something relatively difficult like that. You've got a pen and paper poised. You won't need it. The question is, 1/2 hour is 15, 20, 30 or 45 minutes.
30.
This is a test to be a nurse. Failed by 1/3 of nurses who had passed GCSE in maths to get to this point. Is this incredible? What is half an hour? I'm just speechless. The price of a prescription is 650 pence. Now, you think it might be...
£6.50.
Well, actually, scarily enough, that's the right answer. The price of a prescription is 650 pence. What's the correct format for the price of a prescription in decimal nomination? 605p, £6.50, £65, or £6.05? I mean, we're shaking our heads. We're just gobsmacked. I mean, if they fail, if only 2/3 pass, and it's only a 60% pass rate, I mean, they're barely functioning as human beings. And these are the people that are giving you the drugs that might kill you in hospital. Our lives in their hands. Are we frightened yet? You want another one?
Yes.
Oh, you're happy with it? We're happy with this because you get all of these right, right? If you get one of these wrong, I'm getting up and leaving. Blood can be frozen and stored for 10 years. The temperature of frozen blood must be greater than minus 40 degrees. Blood can be frozen at 40 degrees below zero. If frozen blood gets 40 degrees colder, what is the new temperature? That's a very roundabout way of asking what's 40 plus 40. Any idea?
Minus 80.
Minus 80, yeah. And lastly, one emergency volunteered driver carries 6 people in one journey. How many journeys must the driver make if he is to transport 24 patients? Are you telling me you don't know?
I missed the beginning of that. Was it 4?
One emergency volunteer driver carries 6 people in one journey.
That's 4, isn't it?
How many journeys must no conferring. How many journeys must the driver make if he is to transport 24 patients?
4.
In other words, what's 24 divided by 6? 6 4s are 24.
Yeah.
We feel like geniuses in here.
I know. A spokesman said all students must have a minimum of 5 GCSEs, including maths and English, for a place on the diploma in nursing, and 2 A-levels at grade C for first place on the BSc in nursing. So to get to the point where they have to get 60% of these answers correct, they have to have 5 GCSEs and 2 A-levels. And they say that the education system isn't being dumbed down. I mean, I'm just staggered. You actually got 100%. You're wasted here. You should be midwiferying look on your face. You get to wear gloves. I'm sure you do. Gloves and a nice gown.
I'm not cleaning up other people's sick.
Yeah, not just sick either. Both ends. Ew.
At the same time, sometimes.
Yes, that's right. No end to it. Oh, I'm like exhausted now. So, in order to continue this programme, you have to answer the following question. What is your name?
On FM.
On DAB.
And online.
This
is London's LBC 97.3.
That was a bit worrying, what you were just talking about.
Yeah, it really is. Don't ever get sick.
Well, no, it's funny, because I have been sick the last couple of years several times and been admitted, and the nurses have been wonderful, but they didn't have to count, so...
Yeah, well, you say that nurses are wonderful, and I had an episode, a near-death experience just a while ago, and they were wonderful because, and you say that because they didn't kill you. Well, I mean, you've got no idea, actually, how they're doing, other than if they smile at you.
Well, they couldn't do enough, I mean, this wasn't actually what I rang about. You started talking about this after I phoned in, but now you've started on it. I don't know if what's more worrying is those two girls you got with you, because they don't seem to be able to count either.
They came up with a 100% pass rate, and they're looking outraged.
Well, it took them a long time. They had to do it.
It did. Yeah, you're right. Long time,
They had to write it down.
And they had to consult each other.
Mind you, I'm sure they're very nice. I'm just trying to cover my own tracks now. Anyway.
Shut up.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, what I phoned in for, I've got a positive parking story.
No, you don't.
I do, honestly. Parking ticket. If you can give me a minute. Hang on, I'll just come in the trailer. A couple of weeks ago, we had some really, really hot days. I mean, I know we've had a few in the last week, but this was when it sort of reached a peak. And I parked outside my house with my parking permit, but we have to park there. And the sun was so hot, it melted the thing that was holding it onto the window inside, and it fell on the floor. Traffic warden came along and gave me a ticket. So I was a little bit annoyed about this, so I sent it off to West Sussex County Council with a note saying I'm not going to pay it because it was the sun. They sent me a note back saying, yeah, sorry about that, forget it. And they had forgotten it, so I didn't have to pay it.
Huh.
And, yeah, I thought it was quite good of them. I was expecting an argument, but...
Well, yeah, because I think the wording is that it has to be displayed, and if it's not... whether you got it or not is irrelevant. If you don't display it...
Yeah. But the sun was so hot, it took that off, it took my...
a likely story.
It took my tax disc off as well. It took everything off inside my car that was on the window, because I've got 3 or 4 parcels for different places where I work. And it was so damn hot, it just melted it. And everything ended up on the floor. But they've forgiven me, they've let it off. So they're not all bad.
Well, I don't know. I think the jury's out. I think they are all bad. But lately we've been reading that the government is doing a U-turn, and now they're going to be a lot more nice about parking tickets. Does anybody believe that?
No.
No.
Well, that's the only one I've ever had, so I really don't know. But, didn't cost me anything, so I'm quite happy with it.
Still, you're on a list now. You're on a database now. They're watching you.
Yeah, but when I got my pass to park there, they had to take all my details, including my registration number, where I lived, etc., and the car. And they knew, when they put it in their little machines that they carry, that I must have had a pass. But the fact was, it wasn't actually showing. I mean, I know what you're saying, that it should be showing, and you can get done for that. But they must have known anyway that I had actually paid for a pass, because I have to pay for it every year. So, it's a little bit give and take, I think. But they let me off, so I'm happy.
Well, hold on to that happiness.
I certainly will.
All right, cheers, mate.
And you.
Now, I only got halfway through this thing. I'm going to do a lightning round. I think this show needs to get kick-started. It's my fault. I didn't bring my headphones in, and I was put off. I'm still baking hot in these things. But we're going to do a lightning round. Do you know what a lightning round is? You remember back that far?
No.
A lightning round is where you call in...
Oh, yes.
Do we have a prize? Some sort of prize? Some sort of radio station prize, like mugs and...
Can we get
we do.
Nigel back on?
Huh?
Can that be the prize, to get Nigel back on? What does he say?
So irritated tonight.
So, but what did he say? Were you listening?
Yeah, he was talking about parking.
But what did he say?
What did he say? Is this a test?
It is.
He got a
I
ticket.
think he nodded off a little there.
And he got out of it. I think that was the gist of it.
And in a very positive way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a happy story. You're just upset that you had to work nights.
Yeah.
Normally you only work days. Do you get an extra?
Well, usual. Flat rate.
Right, so no.
No.
Right, I'm going to do a lightning round, and to perk this mess up, a lightning round is where you call in and finish a sentence. So this is an ideal opportunity for people who don't normally call in to a because I would never call a radio show, ever. I did it once, never again. Because we're not going to get into a conversation, we don't want to know who you are or where you come from or any of that stuff. I'm just going to punch you up right off the air, off the thing there, so you won't go through Lucy, and you just finish the sentence. Let's be positive. Let's have I love. That's the simplest one in the world, isn't it? I love. So just finish that sentence, and we'll get a prize, which is what? Let's be specific about this.
Okay, we can get some LBC products, so we can get you a mug, a pen, a car sticker, and a mouse mat.
A mug, a pen, a car sticker, and a mouse mat. All of those. Yeah. Well, that's great. Okay, so the funniest one, as judged by us three, I don't know about Helen, she's in a very bad mood. We'll throw that at whoever is the funniest, so we'll set those up now. The number is 0870 9090 973. I'll just punch you up right off the board here, and as soon as you hear your phone stop ringing, that means you're on the air. And don't wait to say hello, you know, how are you, and all that stuff. Just launch into I love whatever it is. And if you're great, then we'll put you on hold, and then we'll keep going around and around and around until it ends. So I'll just wait until there's a full board, and then I'll go with it. Singer James Blunt irritates the public. He's more irritating than traffic wardens, noisy neighbours and estate agents, according to a poll ranking the UK's most annoying things. What's the most annoying thing, according to this poll? Any idea? Hazard a wild guess.
Well, I think I know it was Blunt, wasn't it?
No, he was number 4.
Oh, was he 4? Oh.
The most annoying thing is cold callers.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that last week. They are very annoying.
The second is caravans. You hardly ever see a caravan these days, like almost never. They must have just seen Top Gear a couple of weeks ago, and they thought, oh yeah, caravan. It's like front of brain, you know?
Isn't Margaret Beckett in one at the moment?
Queue jumpers are number 3. Queue jumpers. Traffic wardens at 5. People who tailgate at 6. Brown nosers at 7. That is such an unpleasant phrase, isn't it? Brown nosers? Do they have to be called that? Chantel and Preston from Big Brother at number 8. That's ridiculous. I mean, how specific is that? Ex-smokers at 9 and noisy neighbours at 10. Rude people. That's my pet peeve. Just people in general who are rude, which covers, a multitude of sins, including people in cars and pavements and most of the people who call this show. So we're going to go through this now. It's 0870 9090 973. I want people who don't normally call, which means that when you call in, it will be unknown on our board, because we have technology that can see who you are. Because if you call ever, then you're in our system and we know where you live. So I want a lot of unknowns to call. 0870 9090 973. We'll go through this, and a major prize awaits you. OK, let's go with number 1.
I love the thought of Nick Abbott getting sacked from LBC 97.3.
2. Oh, I have to put the fader down and then up. Oh, this equipment. 2. That'll be whoever's phone just stopped ringing.
I love Lucy.
3.
I love the gash, like Mikey.
We both did it. We can't go. We can't do that anymore. All right. Well, this is a nightmare. And it all started with me leaving my headphones at home. Awful. So we're going to have to stop that now and take a break while the delay builds back up and come back. Can we start this show again? We can. Right, we'll go back in time and we'll see what happens.
Paul Ross.
How do you solve a problem like Maria?
Anything Graham Norton can do, we can do better. Here at London's LBC 97.3, we can have our own version. Nick Abbott.
Right, well, I don't want to do that again. Like, ever. I don't think I want to take any calls again, ever. So test me. Go ahead, let's do that.
Okay, wireless headphones for iPods, Bluetooth compatibility.
Now, this is an up and down list, right?
Yes.
What's in and what's out? And there's 20 questions, and I have to get 60%.
Yes, you have to get 60%. Well, really, 70. And Helen said 85, but I'll go with 70.
I'll go with 60.
Okay.
Actually, it should be 50. Wireless headphones for your MP3 player. Are they in or out? Well, they've got to be in, right?
No, these are different ones, though, because they're wireless and they're Bluetooth as well.
Well, isn't that the nature of the wirelessness?
But, I mean, it answers your mobile phone as well.
Oh, right. Well, they're totally in.
Yeah. Oh, do you want me to give you the result now?
Well,
no, that ruins it, doesn't it?
I guess so, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if it's if the questions are 50-50, half up, half down, then it's best that I don't know as we go on.
Okay. Pastel polo shirts.
In.
Q magazine.
Now, where do these questions come from? Because that's important. Because if it's from Motorbike magazine, then pastel polo shirts will be out, out, out.
This has come from the general public in a local pub from here when we surveyed all the men.
You liar.
We just honestly did.
How many?
I must have asked about... No, I didn't. I asked a lot more than that.
5.
Maybe 20.
You're making this up.
I'm not making this up.
You actually came up with these questions and then you asked members of the general public what they thought.
I did.
I'm amazed. That seems like work on your part.
Yes. I did it with a beer in my hand.
And where about in London was this pub?
It was in a place called Latimer Road. It's a long way from here.
Latimer Road, that's sort of Queensway area.
Down there.
That's sort of west-ish.
West London way, yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a nice part of town.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Do I need to sell it anymore?
No. I think you've lied enough. Right, so, pastel, yeah, I think that's in, yeah.
Okay. Q magazine.
Oh, is that the next one?
Yeah.
Q magazine. There's so many music magazines out at the moment. It's like, how can anybody be that interested in reading about music? It's always been the weirdest thing to write about, I've always thought. How can you write about music? To convey the nature of music in words, it's impossible. You can't do it.
Well, if you like talking about music, then I guess it works. So then you just transcribe it. Anyway.
I'll say out, just because it's been in for such a long time.
Okay. Can you hear my markings? Is that giving it away?
No.
Okay, good. Cider with ice.
In. Totally in. I'll tell you what, cider is... I've been drinking cider since forever. Since I was, like a teenager, I've been drinking cider. You know, as a teenager, you drink something that doesn't taste like alcohol, because basically the taste of alcohol is pretty nasty. It's an acquired taste, and I just decided not to acquire it. Particularly the outer extremes of alcohol, like whiskey and stuff like that, I just won't go there. If you have to really try and I like something, then I'm just not going to like it. And I've always been pilloried for liking cider. Like, people will say, all right, mate, what are you drinking? And I'll say, I'll have a pint of cider, please. And they look at me like I've just ordered a pint of squirrel's blood. You know, it's... But now, the worm has turned, and apparently it's totally socially acceptable to order cider now. Here's the article. Traditionally viewed as the preserve of dentally No, it's not. Traditionally viewed as the preserve of dentally challenged country folk, tramps and teenagers, cider has long been the poor relation of other alcoholic drinks. But thanks to a number of premier brands and slick advertising, it's suddenly become fashionable, with sales jumping by as much as 4 times in the last year. According to industry experts, the alco-pop generation, now in their 20s and 30s, are turning to cool, premium brands such as Magners and Merrydown. What a brilliant wheeze that is. You come up with cider, and the way to increase your sales by 400% is just to say, serve it with ice. And then you don't have to give people so much of it, because your glass is full of ice. In the past 5 weeks alone, cider sales... This is amazing. In the past 5 weeks alone, cider sales have shot up by 51%, thanks to the trend for drinking it with ice in the current heatwave. Manufacturers have also tapped into the popularity of organic goods as seen as rustic and authentic. The National Association of Cider Makers said sales of its members' top-end ciders have grown by nearly 10% in the last 12 months. It's going through the roof. Cider is now seen as cool. So I'm going to say yes. Defo. Cider is up. Did I get that one right?
Well, I'm not going to tell you yet.
Oh, right, yeah, okay. Next. One more question and then we'll deal the rest of these later, yeah?
Loosely buttoned shirts.
What does that mean?
Well, loosely buttoned shirts, like you're wearing tonight.
You mean unbuttoned?
Well...
It can't be loosely buttoned.
Loosely unbuttoned,
right.
I should
so
say.
Unbuttoned shirts.
Unbuttoned shirts, yes. Not the whole way down, though.
Just one button too many. That's what you mean. Because one button at the top, that's for winter. 2 buttons is summer. 3, that's getting into like Italian gigolo.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah, no, we don't want that. So I'm going to say no. But this is blokes you asked, not women, right?
All men were asked.
Right. Yeah, I think that they'll say no. I think that women would say no as well.
Okay.
So how many? Is that 5?
Yes.
All right, well, we'll stick with that for a moment, and now we'll go to South Norwood. Hello, Philip.
Oh, hello, Nick.
Philip.
You're talking about cider.
Yes.
I drink cider. It's the only alcoholic drink that I like. And I don't know if you know, but you can buy low-alcohol cider.
What's the point of that? Why don't you just have apple juice?
Yeah, but, I mean, you know, some of the cider contents are really, really high. And you go through there, you see 6 or 7%.
Yeah, or like 10 or 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's like drinking syrup. Yeah, I can't take high alcoholic products. In fact, I embarrass myself every time I order wine in a restaurant because I say, I ask how alcoholic the wine is. Yeah, that used to be the law.
Yeah.
For a brief period, when you went out and you ordered wine, on the wine list, it put the alcohol content next to the wine. That lasted for about 2 weeks.
Yeah,
and then they stopped doing it. Why?
But with cider, Nick, there are 2 brands that I drink, these low-alcohol cider, and they're both 1% alcohol, and the taste is first rate.
But that's pointless. You're paying way over the odds for them to
not really,
put alcohol in and then take it out again.
Yeah, but as I say, the taste of the 2 that I have, they're both made by 2 well, they say they're made by 2 supermarkets. I suspect it's the same company making it for both the supermarkets. But the taste is really good.
Yeah, so's fizzy apple juice. You know, it's the same. I don't understand the whole concept of low alcoholic drinks. Just buy a non-alcoholic drink. It's cheaper.
I see what you're saying. I've never liked lager. I don't know about you. I can't stand the taste of lager.
I'll pull a phrase from the TV show Frasier and say that I only ever drink lager when I'm eating sausages, which is to say, never.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes. I mean, occasionally I'll, perhaps try something else, but it doesn't really sort of, to be, to my particular taste.
Well, it's like I said, it's an acquired taste, and what that means is it doesn't taste very nice, and lager doesn't taste. Can you imagine any other product tasting of lager? Like, for instance, you'd get chocolate ice cream or apple-flavoured sorbet or a lager-flavoured... Oh, no. No, you wouldn't, would you?
The sort of taste of... Just one other thing, Nick. I went round to see a mate of mine. He's into horror films. And he showed me a couple of ones I'd heard of them, but I'd never seen them. A couple of weird ones. Have you ever seen The Night of the Lepus?
Of the Lepus?
Yeah, Lepus. The rabbits.
No.
And there's these killer rabbits, giant-sized killer rabbits, running through the countryside, terrorising the community. Yeah. It was made in 1972, starring quite a well-known Hollywood actor at the time, a guy called Stuart Whitman.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, it was hilarious. And the other one he showed us was made in Croydon.
Well, that was the movie?
Yeah, the Croydon, but the film was made in Croydon, not the rabbit one. There was a film called Conga.
Oh, I thought you were saying that it was called Made in Croydon.
Oh, no. The film was called Conga.
Like they've gone up and down Croydon High Street.
Well, yes, actually, that's what happened.
And looked at the local people and thought, oh yeah, there's a horror movie in there.
Now, what happened, Nick, was that they did this film. It was Michael Gough, the guy who went on later to play Batman in the Batman films.
No, Michael Gough.
Yes, before Michael Caine took over. He was in the one...
well, he didn't play Batman, did he?
No, he played Alfred.
He played Batman's Batman.
Batman's Batman, yes. Yeah, he was in Batman. And he got this gorilla that he brought back from Africa, and he started giving injections, and it turned into a giant gorilla.
Well, it would.
And the finale took place in Croydon High Street in the early 60s. They filmed it about 2 o'clock in the morning.
Well, the gorilla scale of the post office.
They had everybody lined up in Croydon High Street, screaming and shouting, and there's the army there with their guns and everything.
And how on earth do you go about getting films this obscure?
Well, I don't know, he's into that sort of thing, you know, he's...
rubbish.
And they had all the people running down Croydon High Street screaming, and they added the gorilla on afterwards. So, you had the people running down there, and it was when they were... it was not like it is now in Croydon High Street.
Oh, it's just ravishing, yeah.
Yeah, it is very exciting, you know. And so, as I say, the people running, the gorilla up there, so they were screaming, look, there's a gorilla, there's a gorilla. And also... there was one other one he had there, Nick. Have you ever seen Fire Maidens from Outer Space?
No one's seen Fire Maidens from Outer Space. You're making it up.
No, I'm not making it up. This spaceship went to this planet, and on the planet there was one man, an old monster, and the rest of it was young women, and they were looking for a husband.
Right, well, they would.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's amazing, you know. He seems to...
And which part of that is a horror movie?
Yeah, well, it was really, because this monster was running around terrorising everybody. Right. But, I mean, some of the titles, I was looking at the titles, in his book. The Crawling Eye. Have you ever seen that?
Can't say that I have, no.
Old Mother Riley Meets the Vampire.
Nope.
Yes. Well, The Giant Leeches.
Nope.
Them. You ever seen Them is a classic film.
Them, yeah. Now, I do remember, wasn't Steve McQueen in Them, or was that The Blob?
I think James Arness is in it. I'm not sure about, I've got my book in front of me if you like.
Oh, no.
No, okay.
I think Steve McQueen was in the...
He was in the
Blob.
The Blob. He was in the Blob, that's right. James Arness was in Them. And, so, I mean, they've got to start somewhere, haven't they?
I suppose so.
Yeah, I mean, what was your favourite horror film?
Alien. But I guess that's not a horror film, it's more of a suspense film, isn't it?
Yeah, I watched The Thing, the remake the other night for the first time. The John Carpenter version.
And how was it?
It was excessively gory, but it was very, very well done.
Right.
With Kurt Russell.
Actually, for horror films, I'd have to say that the Blair Witch Project. Now, I've seen it twice. The second time I saw it, it was at home on TV, and I thought,
did you miss...
Wait a minute. I thought, that's nothing much. But the first time I saw it was when it first came out in a cinema full of people, and I've never been so terrified watching anything in all my life. I think you have to watch that film in a cinema with a lot of other people. And I couldn't take it anymore. It's a relatively short film, right? But I just wanted
you're in the woods with them.
I just wanted it to end. Yeah. I couldn't stand it anymore.
Yeah, it is a very, very good film. Have you seen The Others with Nicole Kidman?
Yes.
What did you think of that?
I can't remember it. I remember virtually nothing of any film I've ever seen.
That is one of the few films that I did not guess the ending. Because, as I say, they're living in this house in Jersey.
But you're going to spoil it for
everyone
else.
No, I'm definitely not going to spoil it, because
you do.
If you've never seen it, I don't think everybody I've spoken to did not guess what the ending was.
No, I can remember it now. Bambi's mother gets shot, isn't that right? Hey, listen, Philip, we've got to go, but thanks a lot, mate.
Nick, all the best.
Ta-da.
Bye.
Right, we're going to go away and come back, and then when the news comes around at 11 o'clock, because I'm starting to pick up speed now, when the news comes around at 11 o'clock, we're going to pretend that it's 10 o'clock, and we'll actually, we'll start the show then, and we'll go till 2. Does that sound all right? We'll do that.
Rachel, hello, darling.
Oh, hi, Julia. How are you?
Fine. Now, what's that dishy car you're driving?
Oh, it's my gorgeous new Volvo S40.
Oh, someone's doing well, and what would something that lovely be costing you?
Hi, how you doing?
I'm all right.
You're liking for cider. I'm totally with you. I've just rediscovered it myself.
Well, I never stopped drinking it. And it's always been a source of some embarrassment, because people's reactions when you ask for cider, until just recently, until this summer, people look at you like... Cider? I mean, that's what they say. That's what I get all the time. Cider? What do you want to drink that for? It's the same thing as when you order, there's a round going around, and so I'll just have an orange juice. And they're like, orange juice? Why don't you have a real drink? Morons.
Yeah, I started working my way along the shelf in our local supermarket, buying a couple of different bottles each week, and I had a really nice one today. It was a dry one. It was French. Don't ask me what the name was, because I've thrown the bottle away now.
What was the name?
I can't remember. Something like La Fontaine or something like that.
Oh, something la-di-da like that, yeah.
Yeah. But I tell you what, that was absolutely gorgeous. Put it in the fridge for about a couple of hours and had it in cold glasses as well. Put the glasses in the fridge, chill them off, and then pour the cider into the glass. You don't need ice.
And then drink it. This is almost like the instructions that come on the bottle.
Yeah,
and they'll have a picture.
right.
They'll have a picture of it in a glass, and underneath it will say "glass not included."
Yeah, I know what you mean. But it was absolutely gorgeous, and I thought dry. It's going to be, sort of suck your cheeks in time.
It's a much nicer drink than lager. No one can deny that that's true. Cider is a much nicer drink than lager. Well, that's why teenagers start drinking the cider, because it's much more palatable, right? You have to get used to lager. Lager's an awful drink. Plus, it's dry.
Cider when you was a teenager?
Do what, sorry?
Did you ever drink stout and cider?
Well, no, I used to drink Snakebite, which is half lager, half cider. And I used to work in a pub, and we banned selling it after a while, because it makes, for some strange reason, that combination, cider and lager together, make people violent. Why on earth that should be the case, I've got no idea.
Yeah, I used to do that as well for a living at one time, and we only allowed them a pint at a time, no more.
And you know that if they ordered a snake bite with blackcurrant, I can't remember what that drink was called. It wasn't a black velvet. That's something to do with Guinness, right? But if they ordered a snake bite with blackcurrant, you know that those people are on heroin, without a shadow of a doubt. You call the police immediately. Anyway, listen. Thanks a lot, Stephen. I mean, Ricky, and the best of luck with your drinking.
Cheers, mate.
You keep drinking, mate.
Bye-bye.
Right, this is LBC. I'm Nick Abbott. We're 3/4 of the way through. What's 5 divided by 20 and multiplied by 6 is to become a nurse? Quickly.
On FM.
On DAB.
And online.
This
is London's LBC 97.3. Nick Abbott.
So, Drain got sent off again. Did you see that? Wayne Rooney got sent off again. He saw red again. Oh, I've got gas backing up. Hang on. Oh, excuse me. That was a chunky Kit Kat. Lovely. Yes, Drain got sent off again. Was it Cristiano Ronaldo's fault?
No.
Was it any Portuguese player's fault?
No.
Was it his mum's fault?
No.
Was it God's fault?
No.
Was it the ref's fault?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the ref's fault. There's nothing that boy does in his whole life that is his fault. Nothing to do with me, Governor. Amazing. So he virtually killed this guy, and he got sent off. Quite right too. And it's not his fault. He is stunned. Looked at the ref with uncomprehending eyes and trudged off in that Neanderthal way that he has got. Awful. He's a Wayne hole. Zinedine Zidane's a Wayne hole too. I mean, no matter how many times that you saw him do wizard things with his boots, he's a total Wayne hole, because he got sent off loads of times as a violent, aggressive nut job. And come to find out that Keith Moon was a Wayne hole. I thought that he was just an amusing fella that brightened up the rock and roll pantheon, but no, he was a total wife-beating, drunken Wayne hole. Is there anybody that isn't? In public life? Can you think of one?
What, a sportsman?
Or anyone?
Or anyone. Paul McCartney?
No. Paul McCartney is a Wayne hole.
Is he as well?
Yes, totally. If he does that thumbs up OK sign to the cameras one more time.
Okay, who else can we pick?
Because no one's that nice, do you know what I mean? I mean, I know that he's like St. Paul now. Not Sir Paul, he's St. Paul. Just because he wrote a few catchy tunes. Since the Beatles, not much, let's face it. Since Band on the Run and Live and Let Die. There was the album Band on the Run, then Live and Let Die, and there was that live track. I can't remember what it was.
The Frogs Chorus?
No. Oh. But since that album and those two singles, nothing. Nothing. I mean, can anybody whistle a single song that Paul McCartney's written since Band on the Run? No. Not one. And even Guns N' Roses did a better version of Live and Let Die than he did. And he's worth £860 bazillion. And what's he going to do with that money? See, now, Bill Gates, he's giving all of his money away. Well, you know, he's probably keeping a few billion in his back pocket just for walking around money, because he's got a house that's as big as Essex. So the upkeep on that's going to be quite large, but he's giving away most of his money, which is tremendous. Most rich people don't do that. They just sit on it and pass it down to their children or whoever it might be. Pass most of it to the government. Oh, the taxes in this country. Shall we get onto that? You know, the thing that's been bugging me lately is sales tax. In this country, that's VAT, and that's 17.5%, which is staggering. That's almost 20%. That's virtually a fifth of the price of what you pay is added on in sales tax. In America, sales tax differs from state to state, but it's usually about 4%, 5%, 6% at most. Isn't that amazing? I mean, they pay less income tax to begin with, and then the sales tax is a tiny fraction of what we pay here. And we pay, and we pay, and we pay, and what do we get? It doesn't seem like we get anything. Lights are being turned off in Soho. They're turning the street lights off in Essex. Nurses can't count. The NHS is in meltdown. It's just... Kids are leaving school and they can't speak properly. It's amazing. What is going on in this country? It's like we're going backwards. Like Spike Milligan. We're walking backwards for Christmas. Christmas is cancelled, by the way. We can't afford it.
I thought of a nice person.
Gordon Brown thought it would be a prudent measure. Go on, a nice person, me.
Pierce Brosnan.
Is he?
Well, he's very handsome.
Handsome doesn't mean nice. I was in the supermarket in Hampstead, and the teller, she was a nice Indian lady, and she was checking all my things through, and she says 007. I'm like, surely it's more than that. I mean, you know...
Was she a nurse?
A bag of... Yeah, right. A bag of crisps cost £3.25 in that shop. 007? I felt like reaching into my pocket and giving her 7p before she changed her mind. And she said, no, 007. She's like surreptitiously pointing without making it look like she was pointing. And I'm like, what the hell? And I turned around, and there was Pierce Brosnan with a woman who was like, oh, I don't know, definitely his daughter. Does he have a daughter? No. She looked that age. Anyway, he's doing very well. And he got into some sort of sports, some sort of non-James Bond-like sports car. I think it was a 911. James Bond doesn't drive German cars, does he? Actually, he does. He drove a Beamer in one of the movies, didn't he? And Aston Martin, that's Ford, so that's American, I guess. So, yeah, American but not German. So that's my brush with 007.
Gosh, you're mixing with all the celebs, aren't you?
Aren't I just, yeah. Hello, Steve.
Hello, is that Nick?
Yes, sir.
Hello, it's my first time I've ever rang up. I thought I'd give you a bell, because you were saying, like, for first-time callers to ring in.
Okay.
Well, I went on the march today.
March?
You know, the march for the cessation of hostilities in the Lebanon.
Oh, yeah.
And it was well attended. I estimated there must have been about 20,000.
Right, the police will estimate 6 people.
They estimated 6. Don't know where they got 6 from.
Well, the estimations between the people who are on marches and the police are always so wildly different. It's almost as though they're looking at different events. Yeah, you say 20,000, the police say there's definitely only 6 people there.
That's right, yeah, because I had exactly the same chat with an older lady as we were walking round about the, you know, we kind of were getting into sort of like how many people said, you know, that's right, yeah, because I had exactly the same chat with an older lady as we were walking round about the, you know, we kind of were getting into sort of like how many, you know, if you say 20,000, you know, you can sort of, you know, the police will underestimate that, you know. I don't know what the reason behind that is.
So when, right, so you're on the march, and where did it go from and to?
We was at Hyde Park Corner. It was a bit of a shambles, really, because we was at Hyde Park Corner, and we were all herded to go through one of the gates, like one of the gates towards Bayswater, and then walk back round towards Hyde Park Corner again, go straight down, what's it called, Parkway?
Park Lane.
Park Lane, sorry. And then we was walking through all these nondescript streets in Mayfair, where there was just like dead quiet.
Yeah, I know. You drive down Mayfair during the weekend.
Yeah,
and it's like a neutron bomb has dropped. You know, one of those. Is that the right kind of bomb? Bomb that doesn't destroy buildings, just people. It's totally dead. Why did you go down there? There's no one down there. To get to the American embassy.
They routed us through that way, probably because of the traffic. You know, they just probably thought we might as well have not left the park. To be quite honest.
They routed you that way so that people wouldn't see you.
Yeah, it's good.
But that's the way you get to the American embassy, right? Grosvenor Square.
That's right. Yeah, and we passed there, which was very pleasant, really. I thought that, you know, if there was going to be a flashpoint, I thought that would have been it, the American embassy. I did see some idiots sort of like trying to burn an American flag.
Where do the people get these flags? I mean, I'm especially curious about, the sandy areas. They've always seemed to have a ready supply of American flags. Where do they get them?
You know, I think Violet Cray lived on Valence Road. But on that actual street, there's a park there, and it's called Weaver's Park.
Doesn't sound like any kind of park that you'd actually want to go anywhere near without a gun.
No.
Of course, the Crays were very nice to their mum.
That's right, that's what you hear, didn't you? But apparently this area's really changed over the last 5-6 years.
Yeah, I seriously doubt that.
It's like, where all the wholesale shops were and all the leather guys who were making leather jackets, they've all moved out. And what we're left with now is sort of like first-year art students, sort of like buying up all available space. You know, and
first-year art students?
Yeah, first-year art students. You know,
they haven't got any money?
I know they haven't, so I don't know how. I think what they do is they club together in a co-op, and they sort of like rent or lease one of the properties, and they sort of like have viewings and stuff. I'm not too up with art, to be quite honest with you.
It sounds like a front for terrorist activity to me.
No, what I think it basically is when I moved to Brick Lane, I was living in Borough. I lived in the Borough for 10 years, and I saw the Borough change.
Well, at least you are coming up in the world.
That's right. I saw the Borough, you know, I saw all round Borough and Borough Market, and that changed overnight. You know, even now it's changing to the point where, you know, it's becoming unrecognisable almost, and people were buying lofts. I think that is the trend now, is to buy a loft.
I bet there isn't a single loft left in London. You know, a few years ago when I was looking around, there was so many shells being sold. I'll give you £1,000 if you can find a shell in London. There isn't one left. Everything has been totally done
about an old derelict building that you could buy at an auction and basically do up again.
Right.
There's quite a few here. I'm looking out my window now, and there's the Truman's building, which is sort of like, I don't know, it's half empty at any given time.
You know whose fault it is? It's Sarah Beanie's fault. Specifically, that woman's fault. She's ruined the property business in this country, because everybody now thinks that they're a property developer, because you see the bozos on her show, and they make every mistake under the sun. Like, they'll go to Sarah and they'll say, you know what, I'm going to put a urinal in the kitchen, and she'll, like, think, is that a good idea? And that's like a tease after the break. And then they do that, and they colour everything puce, and they still make £100,000.
Anyway, I was just like to say, I'm really glad that I did get through today, and what I basically wanted to say was, I was homeless about 5 years ago, and I kind of had to sort of like make a few, you know, life-changing decisions and that, and I did get picked up by a community action team, who subsequently moved me into a hostel, and then from there, I was offered a housing association, but the whole process took around about 4 years. And in that 4 years, I was sort of like staying with me, or sort of like 4 years, you know, for a single bloke in London who split up in a relationship, you know, the odds on you getting anywhere affordable to live are zilch.
So to you, Brick Lane is like manna from heaven.
Yeah, it is. You know,
Okay, great.
When they first said to me, "Oh, there's an offer for you, and it's in Tower Hamlets," they didn't say Brick Lane; they just said Tower Hamlets.
Your shoulders drooped.
And it's
But I'd
the one part of
rather the
London-
bench.
It's the one part of London I've never lived. I was brought up in Camden, and when they said Tower Hamlets, I thought, "Oh my God!" You know, I had nightmares. But when I actually came to see the property, it's quite spacious. My one gripe, and it is a big gripe. I don't know if you can hear it now. There's a train going by, right? I live on the line going into Liverpool Street.
Right, well, it's ideally placed for transport links.
Oh, yeah, it's connected.
Always think of the positive.
That's right, yeah.
All right, listen, thanks a lot, Steve.
All right, then.
Ta-da, mate.
All right, then. Nice talking to you. Bye.
This is LBC 97.3, Brick Lane, eh? Who wants to go and live in Brick Lane? Hands up, anybody? Anyone at all? No? No one? No one. Not one single person. Not even people who live in Brick Lane want to live in Brick Lane. It's like, I don't know, there's just nothing about it that I like. Just that whole area, there's no green there. You've got to have green. It's life-affirming. Everyone should live in a tent, in a park. That should be the law. Don't you think, Luce?
No.
No, right. Okay, what's the next question?
Manorexia. Up or
What?
down?
Manorexia?
Yeah.
Manorexia?
Manorexia, as in the trend of men dieting and keeping slim, like women do.
Right, well, I'll think about that and we'll come back.
Reasons to buy a DAB digital radio.
Hey, Aid.
Hello, Nick. How are you doing?
It's Aid who can get laid.
Yeah. That's very scary, you calling me that. Actually, why are you on about student nurses? I think I've actually got one on the line. You had...
What was that?
A student nurse.
A good education.
I don't know what the hell's going on here. What's going on here?
Never mind, it's just me being stupid. But skating along that. We're still there.
Well, at least you were amused. Everyone else is going, what?
It's alright, I've gone off on one of my own tangents again. Yeah, did you see that thing on BBC Two the other day? And I'm going to sound sad for saying this, but it was the money programme on about broadband.
No.
No, I mean, we're like miles behind anywhere else in Europe, like France. Did you realise that?
Well, somebody told me about this. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I mean, I know this is going to sound geeky, but you know the speed is like 8 meg, 20, you know, so on and so on.
Yeah.
They've got, on average, 22, which is like way faster than anything we've got. Plus, they got their phone line, and they can get films for like £2 for old ones and £3 for new ones, all for £20. Which is stunningly, and it's very annoying, because we've got nothing like that. We're lucky if we can get 2 meg on most of our exchanges, aren't we? It's very slow.
I don't want to talk about this a lot. Who's that?
It's me.
No, not you. Oh, right. What? Are we filling chairs now? I don't like an audience. I'm sorry, mate. You're going to have to leave. As in, yeah. What were we talking about? No,
Yeah,
I'm totally put off.
Just saying that, you know, for £20, they've got a lot better deal than what we offer on anything. You know, like your phone, your computer.
Here's what I predict. I think all of the companies that have spent billions and billions on infrastructure, like Sky TV putting satellites in space, like the cable companies digging up the road for you know, the purposes of laying cables. I think all of those people have wasted their money. People who have put £10,000 systems in their house that can play you know, a radio in the bathroom and the controls are in the hall. All that rubbish. They've wasted their money too, because everything is shortly going to be wireless. Everything will be Wi-Fi connected. I read a little while ago that all they need to do to cover the whole country with Wi-Fi is to send up 10 balloons. How cheap is that? They just launch them into space, they just hover them there, and they will blanket the country with 120 meg Wi-Fi signals, which means you'll be able to get high-definition digital TV just out of the thin air.
Yeah, I
so
know
that bloke's still there. Can you ask him to leave? I'm serious.
He's trying to fix something.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, you know, the thing that we need fixing.
Oh, well then carry on.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can already get Wi-Fi radio, can't you?
Yes, all of that stuff. It's about to come. I think the wave of technology that's about to overtake us is going to take everyone by surprise. And all of the major companies that are providing information in whatever form it is to your home are going to be usurped by something that is so cheap that they can't see it coming.
No.
Which means that all of the big companies are about to go out of business. All of the people like the digital television providers, like the satellites and the cable companies and the mobile phone companies, because that's going to be all your phones aren't going to be connected by mobile signals anymore. It's going to be Wi-Fi. It's all going to be internet connected.
Well, that's got to be a good thing, because it's hard to get a signal as it is, isn't it? In this day and age, and you struggle with a phone.
And then in about 5 years' time, they'll say, "Oh, you know what? Sorry about this, but it's been giving you cancer." Just like the mobile phone mast. You know, you see blocks of flats with, and they're bristling with mobile phone masts, and you pity the poor people who are living directly underneath them. They were putting them on schools. Are they still doing that? Staggering.
I'm not sure. I think they have been, but yeah, there's a lot of thing about that.
I can't speak into my mobile phone literally for more than about 30 seconds before I feel like it's boiling my brain. I just can't do it. I've got one of those, the Motorola Razr thing, you know, that thin thing that everyone's got.
Can you ever shave with it then?
And it boils my brain. I can't talk in it, but fortunately it's got a speaker thing, and I hold it about as far away as I possibly can, preferably in another room.
Yeah.
And whenever I'm not using it, I like to switch it off, because it's sending out just as much signals when you're not using it as when you are. Were you aware of that? Loose?
I didn't know it was when it's...
Yeah, you don't even have to be using it at the time, just as long as it's switched on. It's sending out powerful signals that are bathing your entire body in cancerous substances.
I think I do that, Nick. You only need to put it near radio, don't you? And sometimes when it's searching for a signal, you can hear it.
Yeah, so all of these things are killing us, and...
Does that mean I shouldn't have it next to my bed when it's... because I put my alarm clock on it, and then I turn the phone completely off.
You switch it off?
Off, and then it bleeps on in the morning. Is that okay?
How does it do that if it's off?
Because it does.
Yeah, mine does that. I know what you mean.
Yeah, you can time it, turn your phone completely off, and then when the alarm goes, it'll turn it, and it'll come up with an option saying, do you want to turn it on?
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's very good.
Well, I guess if it's off... But then I don't know, you know. I mean, all of these things that we take for granted, they turn around and bite you in the rear eventually, don't they? Like underarm deodorant. That's killing us. You lather the most intimate and thin part of your entire body, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, in cancerous chemicals. And you don't think anything of it. Because how long in your life do you go without your underarms covered in deodorant? Like, hardly at all. As long as it takes to get from the shower to to wherever you store it. Like minutes.
Minutes. But just changing the subject slightly before I go, have you ever had an incentive at your workplace to do 100% attendance? They've got like a little crappy incentive at the moment going on.
What, to show up?
Yeah.
They're having to incentivise you to show up?
Yeah.
Great.
There's 6 people going to win a car over 11 starts who get 100% between now and Christmas.
A car?
It's not a very good car, like, but it's still a car, I suppose.
Well, what is it?
Corsa.
A Corsa? I don't even know what that is.
The little Vauxhall thing, isn't it?
You know what the best car ever was in the eyes of motorists in this country?
You're going to say something stupid like the Love Bug or something.
Close. The Morris Minor. Do you remember the Morris Minor? I mean, for a while there, it was a Woody. Let me explain that before anybody gets the wrong idea. It was like half wood. It was like a half-timbered Tudor car.
That's got to be a nightmare. It must have rotted like that. I mean, especially in this country too.
The humble motor, last made in 1971, beat Aston Martin and Rolls-Royce in a poll of Britain's best car. Rollers were rated only third, behind Aston Martins, which famously don't start. Like ever. In fourth place was the iconic red fire engine, with the Mini coming in fifth. I just find that hard to believe. More than 1,000 drivers were quizzed about their favourite vehicles for the British International Motor Show, and they came up with the Morris Minor. I mean, who would want a Morris Minor?
Have they pulled, like, the countdown audience or something?
Also in the top 10 were double-decker buses and milk floats. That's just silly. Here's the 10. Morris Minor, Aston Martin, Rolls-Royce, fire engine. I mean, this is just children's stuff. Isn't it? Fire engine. The Mini, the black cab. Apparently they're terrible to drive. When you get in a black cab and the guy's like really annoyed and upset and in a bad mood, it's the reason is because he's been sat in a black cab all day. Yeah, apparently they're a nightmare to drive. Double-decker buses at 7. I still cannot believe that Red Ken let the double-decker bus drift out of service. The Route Master, London's classic symbol, is no more. Apart from one heritage tourist route, which goes from, I don't know, Ladbroke Grove to Queensway.
There's the 38 as well, isn't there?
As well as what?
Is the Route Master bus.
Where's the 38 go?
It goes into Oxford Circus, Angel, Islington, along that way, Essex Road.
They're still running them?
Yeah.
The next part of the fun of the double-decker bus is trying to get up the stairs without breaking your neck, isn't it?
Well, the beauty of the double-decker bus, especially in London, is that you can get on and off where you like. The buses with doors, you can't. And they're for health and safety reasons, you can't get off when you're not at a bus stop. And you could be 5 yards away in a traffic jam that's not moving, and he won't let you out. Nightmare. So it's double-decker buses at 7. The Robin Reliant, a three-wheel car, is the 8th.
Because of only pulls and horses, do you think?
Maybe, yeah. The milk floats at 9, and the Green Goddess fire engines at 10. and there is an example of what I've always said, is if you ask the general public their opinion, the danger is that they'll tell you what they think. But none of those cars, not on that list, is the exotic piece of hardware that you drive, Aid.
Hardware?
An Audi TT convertible. Can you believe it? This bloke cleans toilets for a living, and he drives a car that's much more exotic than me.
That's what you keep saying, but yours remains top secret.
It's a third-hand thing that's barely being held together by gaffer tape. And he's laughing at me.
It's not Robert Reliant.
No, it does actually have 4 wheels, but apart from that, not much to choose. Anyway, gotta go. Thanks, mate.
Okay.
On FM.
Hey, Lucy, how much would you pay for dancing lessons? Do you remember how the Liver Birds used to start? Hey, you dancing?
Are you asking?
I'm asking. Well, you haven't finished it.
Well,
you've left me hanging.
I can't remember the next bit.
I'll start it again.
You started.
Hey, you dancing?
Are you asking?
I'm asking. No, you got that wrong.
Oh, no.
I'll lead you along. I'll say, you dancing? You say, who's asking?
Okay. Start again then.
Are you dancing?
Are you asking?
No. Who's asking?
Who? Oh, sorry.
Are you dancing?
Who's asking?
I'm asking. And you say, I'm dancing.
I'm dancing. I'm not supposed to say it like that, am I?
Dancing.
I'm dancing.
Right. Again, from the top. Yeah, are you dancing?
Who's asking?
I'm asking.
Are you dancing? Do you wish you hadn't asked me?
It's who and I'm.
Thanks, Helen.
Are you dancing?
Who's asking?
I'm asking.
I'm dancing.
What if I ask?
Are you dancing?
Who's asking?
I'm asking.
I'm dancing. Yay! Oh, that's rubbish, wasn't I?
Totally, yeah. Hey, Sandra.
Hello, Nick.
Sandra, how are you?
Very well, yourself?
Yes, not bad.
Good.
So what's up, Sandra?
Well, you know, you mentioned deodorant killing us.
Deodorant, yeah, it's killing you.
Yeah. You can use lime, you know.
Lime?
Yeah.
What, as in the fruit?
Yeah.
Lime?
You know, the little green thing.
The little green things. Go great with tequila, yeah.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
Lime?
Yep. After every shower in the morning, cut the lime into half, rub it under your armpit.
And then watch the flies congregate.
No! And you wouldn't need deodorant.
Don't you get a bit sticky?
No.
Yeah, sure you do. I cut limes all the time because,
You're not going to be putting it.
like a margarita's my favourite drink, and the lime juice left on the counter there gets,
You're not going to be putting a lot.
sticky.
No.
Well, it doesn't matter how much it is. If it's sticky, it's sticky. That sounds horrible.
It works.
It'd be great if you did that Irish line dancing, because your arms would be stuck to your sides 24 hours a day.
Why? Try it. It does work. And then you wouldn't need to use deodorant.
Lime. I've never heard of such a thing. And where did you get this information?
It was passed on by my grandmother.
How did she smell? Like a cocktail.
Very good.
Huh.
Yes,
Actually, grandmothers don't generally smell good, do they?
they do. Mine.
Do they? Yours does, of course.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I'd like to say that I'll try it, but I know that I won't.
Give it a go.
I absolutely will not do
Give
that.
it a go. And next time when you come, you talk about the results, and I'll phone you back.
Okay. Hey, you're not the nice lady that told me about the wet towel in the bedroom, are you?
No.
Stunned, mystified silence.
No, I was the one who was defending Rooney.
Oh, drain. Well, you know he's got sent off again.
I know.
And it's still
They're
not...
out for him. They're out to get him.
Yeah, right. It's still not Wayne's fault, apparently.
No, it can't be.
It's like Bart Simpson. Nothing is... Oh, it was like that when I got here. Not my fault. Yeah.
They're just out to get him.
Sure they are.
He's just got to keep his cool.
Yeah, if he stops trying to kill people on the pitch, then he might stay on longer.
No,
Yeah.
Nick, the boy is good. You can't tell him 1 minute, calm down, and 1 minute you want him to play well.
Well, it doesn't matter how well he plays. If he's not on the pitch, it doesn't make any difference. He's as good as I am off the pitch.
I didn't see what happened yesterday.
He clattered a bloke.
Well, he must have done something to him.
That's irrelevant. It's absolutely... He said that the guy backed into him, so he whacked him in the face.
You do not know what happened in football matches and rugby matches.
I do. I saw it with my own eyes.
They do things underground. You
What?
know?
They do things underground.
Oh, yeah.
You've lost me. Underground?
Well, basically what I'm saying is when they're playing, when no one is looking, they
right.
get up to all sorts.
Yeah. But that's irrelevant. You know...
That's very relevant.
No, it
You've
isn't.
got to-
I tell you what, it is not relevant, Sandra, because whatever provocation you may have received, or is that the right phrase? I'll go with that. Whatever provocation you may have been under, that's not right either. Maybe I'd drop provocation.
Subjected to?
When it's
Yes, subjected to.
scoring a goal.
Helen comes up with the gold. It's completely... You're supposed to... because you're used to that, right? It happens all the time. People are forever calling each other's mothers, you know, whatever Zidane's mother was supposed to have been called.
That's not acceptable either.
No, it's not acceptable, but equally going off on one and getting sent off, I mean, that's just stupid.
Well,
And he
basically
does it
what
all
he
the
needs
time.
to do is he needs to learn how to do it in order not to get caught. Because they all do it. That's what he needs to do.
No, Sandra, the key is not to do it so that you don't get caught. It's just to not do it.
Well, then...
Think about it, Sandra.
Cheat all the time. All these other players, they do it. They get away with it. Week in, week out.
Hey, listen, do you use that lime thing yourself?
No.
Why not?
Because it doesn't bother me to use the deodorant.
Right.
But
Okay,
if
so
it's
people
not-
aren't
if it's
backing
not-
away from you on the tube.
I do use the deodorant. I'm not worried about dying from using the deodorant. You were worried.
Yeah, well, it concerns me. Anyway, listen, thanks a lot, Sandra.
Take care.
You keep keeping on, all right?
Okay, thanks.
Ta-ta.
Bye.
No, a little while ago, somebody said, because the summer is back. After a little hiccup of a week when it was cold and I was miserable, the heat is coming back. And they said, a couple of weeks ago, they said, what you need to do at night is soak a towel and then drape it over a chair. Do you remember that? Did you try it?
No, I didn't. I was worried about the smell from the damp towel.
Well, it only starts to smell if you leave it in a damp wad for days on end. Then it gets mouldy.
But even if you leave it just a night, they start to smell, don't they? That funny kind of whiffy smell.
No, because it will be dry. Anyway, I tried it, and I think that she might have something there, because air conditioning units run on more or less the same principle, don't they? Bizarrely, not air conditioning units, dehumidifiers.
Yeah, yeah, they do, because they collect it all, don't they?
Well, they throw water into the air to remove water from the air. I don't really understand that concept, because that's basically what she was saying. In a really hot and humid bedroom at night, where people find it difficult to sleep, what you want to do is wet a towel and drape it over a chair, so that the moisture from the towel goes into the air and apparently makes it less humid. I mean, that's so illogical, it doesn't make any sense at all, but you know what? It works. So in the coming weeks, as summer returns, try it. Will you do that for me?
Okay, yeah, I definitely will.
All right, that's a no then. Here's Clapham. Hello.
Hello, Creaky Lion here. How are you, Nick Abbott?
I'm all right, mate.
Hello, London. Hello, the world, as usual. Yeah, a bit worried about the deodorant thing. I try to use it sometimes rather than all the time. You know? Are you there?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
I got a bit worried there. I haven't spoken to you for a while, Nick Abbott. Where you been?
Where have I been?
Yeah, well, I haven't heard you for a while.
I've been on the radio every single... I do 186 hours a day. I've been working continuously every day for about a month now.
What, on LBC?
No, occasionally on LBC. You know,
That's what I'm saying, Nick.
every Saturday.
For a while on...
I'm here every Saturday, 10 till 1.
Been missing you on Saturdays because I've been going on the late shows with Bill Buckley and that, talking to Bill Buckley.
Right.
Yeah, so
Well, haven't I been lucky?
And when you've been lucky, you've been very lucky, I suppose. I like that one. Anyway, I just thought I'd phone you up, say hello, London, hello, the world, hello, Nick Abbott. And keep up the good show. I'm listening for tonight.
Okay, thanks a lot, mate.
Bye-bye, mate.
Support from Clapham. I should have asked him which part. Because, you know, there's some parts of Clapham that you don't really want to stray into. I used to live in Clapham North. It's a total nightmare. It's undergone a renaissance, though. There's actual cafes. Not cafes, which they used to be full of. They have cafes in Clapham North now. Of course, the gentrification hasn't actually stretched to Stockwell yet, which is still a total hole. You really don't want to live in Stockwell. It's got to be worse than Brixton. What a nightmare. Anyway, dancing lessons. How much would you pay for dancing lessons, Helen?
What sort of dancing?
You know, like ballroom dancing.
Salsa.
Right.
Ballroom dancing. Hey, I went to a dancing show just the other day. Guess who was sitting behind me? Who couldn't keep quiet throughout the entire...
what's your number, Trixie?
Trixie?
Let me get it off the screen. Hang on a second.
We're going to be talking to Trixie in a minute. I literally can't wait.
Put it here now.
All right,
give you a buzz back and we'll get you...
Take your headphone, your mic down. Trixie? Lucy? Really?
Yeah, she's on her way.
Great. Is she really called Trixie? So how about you, Lucy? Ballroom dancing. How much would you pay for ballroom dancing lessons?
How long are they?
Answer the question. How long?
I want to know what I'm getting for my money.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, let's say it's a 2-hour lesson.
Yes.
I will pay £35.
I went to a dancing thing just this week, and Brucey was there.
Oh, did he show you a few moves?
He was sat right behind me. Brucey was sat right behind me. Talked through the whole thing.
Oh.
Can you believe it?
That's very
I
annoying.
mean, he's got theatre in his blood. Or theatre, as he pronounced it. He just didn't stop talking. I couldn't believe it.
Did you ask him to be quiet?
No, well, I thought about it. I thought about making a scene. But I thought, oh, no, I can't be bothered. Anyway, a world champion dancer and her husband are being sued by a Chinese banking tycoon that claims that she was humiliated in front of other dancers and told to, quote, move her arse. For ballroom dancers willing to teach their moves to rich enthusiasts, Hong Kong can be a lucrative place to teach the paso doble and the quick step. Mimi Monica Wong, 61, had paid Gaynor Fairweather, the Scottish world champion dancer, and Mirko Sakani, her dance partner and husband, guess how much for 8 years of unlimited coaching?
20,000.
20,000. That's not a bad guess. 8.7 million. 8.7 million pounds for dancing lessons. Can you believe it? Fairweather, who is 16 times Latin ballroom champion, set the Hong Kong dance scene alight when she set herself up as an instructor with her Italian husband. Such was their reputation that 2 years ago, Miss Wong, high-flying banker for HSBC, paid half of the £8.7 million fee up front for dancing lessons. So she's out of her mind. At a High Court hearing, Miss Wong said that she decided to start the lessons because she was looking for the last bit of glory in life, but that her teacher humiliated and threatened her at the open practice session in the Lee Han restaurant in Causeway Bay. Another dance instructor present at the time said that Sakani told her, "If you do it again, Monica, I'll smash your head against the wall." This is a woman who's paid them, in cash, over £4 million for dancing lessons. I mean, you'd think with that would come a bit of respect. Other witnesses claim that he threatened to throw her out of the window. That seems a bit extreme. I mean, it's only dancing, isn't it? Sakani denied threatening her with physical violence, but admitted in court that he had screamed at his student, but only to motivate her. I should try that with you, Luce.
What are you going to say to me?
I'll scream at you more often. It will motivate you more.
It won't. I'll just leave.
He told the banker to move her arse and made comments like, it's awful. Lazy cow. But only to push her to dance. That's my job, he said. The court heard that, despite her tribulations, Miss Wong had not given up on her hobby, as she has a new instructor whom she is paying £11,000 a month. How much must she be being paid to be able to afford £4 million quid, not £4 million quid in cash as a half payment for dancing lessons? I mean, that's I don't even know how to address that. That's so staggering. £8 million to learn how to dance. I mean, how many lessons would you need? For example, 10? I mean, it can't be more difficult than driving, can it? I mean, at least if you bump into people, you don't die. Can you imagine paying someone £8 million to teach you to drive? It's unbelievable. Anyway, with that thought in mind, we'll go away to come back.
I wasn't looking.
LBC 97.3.
0870 90 90 973.
Nick Abbott.
Hello, Trixie.
Hello, Nick. How are you?
Is your name really Trixie?
Well, it is to some people, yes. And that's my radio name, yes.
It is
a bit like the internet.
Some people. Right, because Trixie's kind of an internet name, isn't it? I often get emails, almost like 40 a day, from people called Trixie.
Of course you can. But it's just a name I use. That's all.
Right.
And it's a name that people called me when I was a teenager, and it just caught on.
Can I call you Fifi?
Yeah, well, no, Fifi. No, Fifi actually brings back bad memories of a woman called Fifi, who was a rather nasty cow. I don't really want to think about her. I'm still reeling from that story you read out about all those all that money that woman spent. That's unbelievable. Was it £8 million she spent? She
works for HSBC.
My bank, and I tell you what, I don't work for them, but I mean, my gosh, if I could, that's brilliant. Is there an opening?
She must count money like no one on earth to earn that kind of money.
Oh, dear. She probably hires people to count it for her. Yeah, but she probably keeps them under the mattress.
She must be the world's best bank teller.
Absolutely. Or more. Yes. Yes, well, or maybe she's under the bank tellers. Getting more information from them. Anyway, right, enough of that. About, Sandra rang in about the rubbing a lime underneath your armpit as a deodorant. Is that correct?
That's what she said, yeah.
Right. And of course you made the very valid comment that it can be sticky. Now, my worry for you, Nick, now I don't know how hairy your armpits are. Are they very, very hairy?
Well, they're exactly as hairy as they should be.
Right, okay. Well, if you imagine putting something sticky onto your hair, it would just stick it together.
Yeah.
And that wouldn't be very nice. It would probably work very well on a woman, because most women shave their armpits. Here's a story. My father used to shave his armpits. He's the only man I've ever known in my life who shaved his armpits, so then he could put deodorant on.
Do you put like? It's okay. You're going to have to teach me about. Lead me through this, all right?
What would you like me to say? Just say, ask me anything, and I'll do my best.
Do you put shaving cream underneath your armpits before you shave, or you shave them dry?
Oh, usually, shave them dry if I'm in a hurry. But I just, get a little bit of soap from the shower and rub it underneath and make sure there's a mirror handy.
Oh, the papers. I've forgotten about them.
Oh, the papers. Oh, sorry.
Another tea.
Oh, another tea. It's trying to kill me. Yes.
Are you still there?
I am.
Oh, right. Well, would you like me to go now while you're reading the papers? Or...
Oh, was there more? No, I'm not going to read them now. It's not tomorrow yet.
I would not like you to shave your armpits. I mean, a man without, who shaves his armpits is not very sexy. And, I believe that the line probably would stick your hairs.
Well, the only reason that you've got hair under there is to magnify your own smell. That's
yes,
what it's for.
Oh, well, you see, yes, no, that's rather nice. I like men with hairy armpits. Kind of like men who have a sort of a nice smell as well. I like sniffing armpits.
Okay, I think I'm going to have to go, Trixie.
Thank you very much.
Ta-ta.
Take care.
All right, give me another 5. How many questions have I had so far?
You've only done 6.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah, you've got 18.
In fact, I didn't do the 6th, did I? You asked me the 6th and I didn't answer it.
You said you'd answer it.
Okay, so I want the next 5 questions.
Okay.
Including the one that you've given me already.
Okay, that was manorexia.
Manorexia, is that up or down? Well, just the nature, the clue's in the question, isn't it? You formulated these questions?
With the help of men, yes.
Now, do you mean people who have anorexia, or do you mean just men who are who have been persuaded by magazines, just like women have been for decades, in order to beautify themselves?
Well, mostly the latter, but also the fact that men are turning more to anorexia these days. So,
well, an illness, like a mental illness, can't possibly be on the way up. It can't be can't be fashionable, can it?
No.
Now, define what you mean by up and down. Do you mean that it's becoming more prevalent, or it's becoming more fashionable?
Prevalent.
Yes.
Okay, so you're going for up?
Definitely.
Okay. Long hair.
That sounded like a tick, didn't it?
I'll do it quietly. Long hair.
Is in. I can't stand it. This is about as long a hair at the back as I've ever had, and it's just
really?
It's just like too much hair. Apart from in the 70s, I see kids walking around these days with hair exactly like I used to have in 1974, which is just like pouring. It's just like James May on the. Do you ever watch the car show on BBC Two? Top Gear. Of course you don't. You're women. Why would you? Anyway, he's got the worst haircut of. In fact, that is some stylistically challenged programme. Jeremy Clarkson was banging on about how fat Americans are in his column in The Sun today. Perhaps he doesn't own a mirror or a tape measure. I'm going to send him a set of bathroom scales in the post. He's one of the most gigantically fat men on television, and he seems completely unaware of it. As he moves into camera, his gut appears camera left way before his face does, and he should seriously do something about his teeth. He's always going on about the Nomic guy who's on the show.
Oh, Richard Hammond.
Who's apparently had his teeth cleaned, as everyone on television should.
Yeah. But he's a heavy smoker, isn't he?
Jeremy Clarkson, seriously, mate, get something done about your teeth. He looks like he's using the wooden set that the Queen Mother used to use. It is awful. It's painful to look at. Anyway,
long hair was...
Yeah, it's in, but I can't stand it, because it's just too much hair.
I think it's quite good that it's in. Sometimes I think it looks quite nice, and at least it makes a change from all the skinhead hair, doesn't it? Skinhead
no
hair. That shaved look.
Right.
You know. Where people's heads look slightly misshapen and you can see them all sort of lumpy and bumpy.
All their bumps, yeah.
Yeah.
Phrenology, that's what that is, isn't it?
Yeah. Speedos.
You said yeah, but you actually...
Well, I'm not answering whether you've got it right or wrong, and I'm trying to do my ticks or crosses quietly.
Is it phrenology? The science of telling personality by the bumps on their heads?
Well, you said it very well, so I'm going to say yes.
Say yes. All right. Well, we'll go with that. Yes, you say.
Speedos.
Now, this is a tricky one, because Speedos, I happen to know this because they appear in, you know, the style section in the Sunday Times. You see, they'll have how you should look on the beach, and every now and again they'll do how men should look, and it's all Speedos. All the fashion houses are throwing Speedos at you, but men won't wear them because they're embarrassed.
Well, men over a certain age shouldn't wear them.
Ever, yeah. Like Peter Stringfellow, for instance.
Oh.
Well, he doesn't. He goes
Rod
one.
Stewart
He goes
the other.
one louder. He turns it up to 13, doesn't he? He wears thongs. His great white flabby bottom with a piece of string in between them. Not even the Grand Canyon has a crevasse that big.
So you're a fan of the Speedos, then?
I'll say, in fashion terms, it's up, but I'll say that the men have said down.
Okay. Okay, the men in my survey have said up, or the men in my survey have said
No, the men in your survey will have said down, but they're, in fashion terms, they're wrong.
Okay, okay. Right, 2 more to go. Trainers.
There's just something intrinsically vile about trainers, isn't there? And they're everywhere. It's almost like wearing a hat that's not a baseball cap. If you wear shoes that aren't trainers, people look at you weird. Have we done the ads? We haven't done the ads yet.
We haven't.
No. Oh, I'm sitting there having a heart attack. Well, we better do that, and we'll come back and I'll answer that question in a moment.
Want to save on the sofa? They're out. 97.3. 0870 90 90 973.
Nick Abbott.
Right, so we have the papers. Let's go through them from the top. The Observer, we'll give that one short shrift because it's normally boring. In fact, I'm not going to bother with that at all. I'll just put that on the floor. I mean, the news is bad enough. Does it also have to be dull? The Sunday Express, free CD inside, Tom Jones. Oh, have you ever seen anyone sweat more in your life than Tom Jones? Oh, how women find that man attractive, it's a mystery. He's like a walking ball of hair. He's like something the cat coughed up. And they're still giving away free CDs in order to persuade you to buy them. And that's I don't know, I just don't get it. It's like they're giving away... You buy the CD and then they give you away a paper. And the front page story is Will's girl rules out security despite threat. Someone called Kate Middleton. Never heard of her. She's going out with Wills. The Sunday Telegraph. Afghanistan, no. I'm staying for another year at least, vows Blair. Great.
Absolutely.
Cross-country is physical abuse. It's official. For generations of children, cross-country runs across miles of muddy fields in the depth of winter have been a dreaded feature of school life. But today's youngsters have been given the perfect get-out clause by a citizenship guide used in thousands of schools, which describe cross-country running as a form of physical abuse that infringes children's human rights. OMG. Can you believe it?
Helen agrees.
The guide for 14 to 16-year-olds is produced by the Coordination Group Publications, one of the largest educational publishers in the UK, and has sold copies to 30,000 schools. The first chapter of the book is entitled Your Legal Rights and describes how human rights legislation affects people's lives. In it, teenagers are told you have the right to be protected from emotional or physical abuse. It goes on to give just 2 examples, bullying and cross-country running. That's insane. This is becoming a silly country, isn't it? You think that cross-country running is a form of abuse. It's abusing their human rights. We used to get thrashed at my old school if we even thought about our rights. You've got no rights, laddie! And they'd belt us. Quite right, too. More thrashing, that's what kids need these days, am I right? The Daily Mail, I bet they agree with me. Taxis 17 times round the world. What one ministry took last year. Oh, they're upset about government waste and incompetence. Home Office staff have spent more than £800,000 on taxi fares in the last year. Good grief. You know, one of the things that the thing that I most moan about is wasting our money. You know, I occasionally give the BBC a verbal kicking, and it's not for the programmes that they produce. Really, often it's mostly just because they're wasting our money. Same with the government. It's not the policies that they're following. It's just because they're wasting our money. 800. This is just one department. 800 grand, practically £1 million on cabs. I mean, that's just willful waste, isn't it? And they're giving away a CD of the Stranglers. The Mail. How many readers of the Daily Mail want a CD of the Stranglers? That is weird. I mean, you think the readers of the Daily Mail, what would they actually like?
Cliff.
They'd like Cliff, yes. They'd like military marching bands. They'd like the Dam Busters and, 633 Squadron, stuff like that.
Maria Callas.
Yes, but not the Stranglers. I mean, what's next? The Sex Pistols. The Dead Kennedys. Ozzy.
Michael Ball.
I don't think that the people who are... you see, it must be a department within the Daily Mail who's coming up with the freebies. They're talking to record companies, and the record companies say, oh, yeah, it might feel like you're going past a stall in the street. Or, I'll do you one for the Stranglers. Yeah, we'll do you the Stranglers. And they go, oh, yeah, all right, we'll have that. And then I can't sell a single extra copy of the Daily Mail, because nobody who likes the Stranglers would read the Daily Mail, and nobody who reads the Daily Mail would like the Stranglers. They're mutually exclusive. So, I think they've missed something there. Of course, the Sunday Times is giving away a Rolling Stones DVD, and I think that's quite possibly a good fit, because everyone who reads the Sunday Times used to be young some considerable time ago, and everyone's heard of the Rolling Stones, and they're coming this way. Tickets are only 150 quid. They're accusing the banks of profiteering. That wouldn't happen, would it? And that's about it on the front page. Someone's burning a flag. There's a thing about Iran. I just don't want to hear about that anymore. Let's get to the good stuff. The Star. The front page story is a young woman has large bosoms. There it is. And my romps with Grace. Mikey talks only to the Star. I bet he doesn't. I bet he talks to every single other paper that's going. Mikey, you're right there, Mikey. You're not watching this show, are you?
I knew that he was out last night.
He had a bad week, that's right. He argued with absolutely... He became just a real annoyance. And people... I don't know what the people who are voting... Because I haven't actually picked up the phone. So if you don't vote, you can't complain, right? But the people who are voting, I don't know what's going on in their minds, because they're voting out everyone who's making the show interesting. Such that Channel 4 has now... I think that Channel 4 are making this up as they go along, because they must have freaked out when they sent Nikki out. You remember Nikki, don't you?
I've got a migraine. I need bottled water.
Jeez. One of the funniest people I've ever seen on television. And one of the only people that was actually interesting in that house. Her and R2-D2. You know, the whistling, popping guy who does his shtick.
Pete,
yeah.
What about Jane? Did you like her?
Yes, because she was loud and aggressive, and she was interesting, like things happened around her. Everybody else just sits around and drinks tea all the time. I mean, that show became rubbish. And so what Channel 4 have done now, and they must have had a meeting about it. As soon as Nikki got knocked out, they said, oh, God, well, there goes the show. No one's going to watch it now. And right enough, it got really boring. And so they said, let's put them back in. So that's what they've done. And as a sop to us, they've said that, well, all of the people that have, that started the show, less the few people that are currently at Her Majesty's pleasure, or almost, or about to be, or potentially, all of them are, we're going to vote them back in again now. And people are upset about this because they've paid good money to vote them out in the first place. And so now they're, all of those votes, all of that money that they spent, the millions of pounds that were pouring into Channel 4's coffers, they're just going to wipe all that clean and start again. That's an outrage.
But will they be as interesting when they go back in?
Because they will have had an idea of how they were perceived. Yeah. I think that most of them just can't help themselves.
But how many... Can they all go back in? Or how many people can we vote in?
4.
4 more?
Yeah.
And how much longer is this going on?
Oh, it's like... I don't think it ever ends. It's been going on for about 3 years now, hasn't it?
But it's never really getting any smaller, it doesn't seem. The whole house is just too many of them.
But the fewer they have, the less exciting it becomes, because if there's only 3 of you in the house, then you're more likely to get on, because if you don't, then you're totally stuffed because no one else to talk to. Plus, the fewer of them there are, the more space they have. I mean, that was the idea, to make the place much smaller, so that everyone was on top of each other all the time, and they were set to kill each other for our amusement, which was great. You know what? I can't believe that no one's called me about this. The only reason that I've got hooked on this stupid programme is because someone, just before it started, rang me up on this show and said, well, you better watch it, and I absolutely flat-out refused. I'd never seen that programme before in my life, and always just pilloried anyone who did. And they said, well, you know what, people are going to be calling all the time about it. And I thought, oh, yeah, you know what, you're right. I better watch it. And after a couple of episodes, I was hooked. So it's this programme's fault that I've wasted an entire summer watching that rubbish. And no one ever called. No one ever called. Not one single call about Big Brother, despite the fact that practically a third of this country at any one time is watching them. And most of the time they're just asleep. Happy to watch them, you know, live, when nothing is happening. And they even cut out what they're saying, lest it be too interesting. Anyway, the Star, the Sunday Star, what are they giving away? No. No. Guess what the Star is giving away on CD? The Star, the Daily Star. Think about what kind of person would buy the Star. I mean, they'd go over the Mail and the Express, and they wouldn't buy that. They wouldn't buy the News of the World. They'd pick the Star, the Daily Star. What do you think would encourage them to buy the Daily Star on CD? Have a wild stab in the dark.
Boobs.
Boobs on...
Samantha Fox.
Boobs on CD.
I can't even think how to think.
It's Speak French in a Day.
What, fluently?
Can I have that CD, please?
It's almost as though... I don't get it. How can... Speak French. The Daily... People who read the Daily Star are not interested in speaking French. I mean, that's a wild generalisation, but it's true. Must be. I mean, they could barely speak English. Speak French in a day. They're giving it away on the day. I bet it doesn't get played once. Not one single copy that they give away in this newspaper will ever see the inside of a CD player.
We could play it now.
My Romps with Grace. Mikey talks to the Daily Star. There's boobs on page 3. In fact, there's 8 boobs on page 3. And 1 on 6. How far in do you have to go? There's 4 on 12. And 2 on 13. 2 on 15. Oh, blimey, there's actually too many to count on that double-page spread. And it's in colour. The News of the World. Oh, blimey, they're going with something really depressing. They're going with the normal, the P word that they normally go with, because that's, they've decided that sells them more papers. But which I'm not going to even, not going to go there, girlfriend. What are you looking at me like that for?
We were just trying to work out the word.
The P word? Well, News of the World. What do they always write about? What have they decided makes them more money than any other subject?
People.
People. Close. They're giving away a Frost DVD. It's like newspapers aren't sufficient anymore. Everyone's got to give stuff away. Is anybody making any money on newspapers anymore? And, you know, the News of the World used to be all about sex. Always used to be, you know, people getting up to things that they shouldn't or ought to. Maybe they're backing off that now, after this week's result. And was anybody rooting for the News of the World in that case? No. The People. The Peephole. Susie, Truth About My Life, Vice, and Big Brother Fix Scandal. Uh-huh. They got her in bra and panties with a cup of tea, because that's what she, that's the sole thing that you should do in that house. Drink tea. Anyway, life's too short to go through that. And finally, the Sunday Mirror. Macca, it's got dirty. He sends legal letter to Heather as she takes 3 bottles of cleaning fluid from his house. Surely not about that, though. I mean,
Can't she afford to buy her own?
Well, the implication there is that he's sending a legal letter because she's taken 3 bottles of cleaning fluid from his house. That can't be true, can it? Not Macca. He freezes their joint bank account and changes the locks at their London home. World exclusive, pages 4 and 5. Do you want to know more? Sir Paul McCartney has sent his estranged wife Heather a furious legal warning for taking away 3 bottles of cleaning fluid. That can't be true. The guy's worth £900 million. I mean, he probably doesn't... Does Paul McCartney do his own cleaning? No. Solicitors from the former Beatle fired off the former letter after Heather's nanny took half-used bottles of cleaning fluid from his estate to clean the former model's new office 15 minutes away. The letter claimed 64-year-old Sir Paul's housekeeper had been... had been left distressed by Heather's actions. It warned Heather never to take anything else of his again. Last night, a source said, it's really got nasty. This is war. Heather and Paul can't stand each other anymore, and they'll fight for everything. They'll stop at nothing to irritate each other, no matter how petty. Heather was speechless when she got the letter. After the bitterest 7 days since the couple split 2.5 months ago, we can reveal how Sir Paul also changed the locks at their London home, claimed his divorce petition that Heather should pay him maintenance. Paul McCartney is claiming that Heather should pay him maintenance. It's seen as a legal technicality, but astonishing from a man of Macca's immense wealth. Froze their joint bank account, leaving Heather humiliated when she tried to take out cash. Stopped fighting council bids to knock down Lakeside Lodge in his Sussex estate, which Heather adores, and where she's been living. He refused to let her land their helicopter on his estate because he was angry that she'd used it for a medical appointment, and cited her rudeness to him in front of staff as one of the reasons for their split. So, yeah, Paul McCartney, he's a really nice guy. Do the thumbs up for us again, Paul. Yeah, right there. Let's have, Robert.
Hello, darling.
How are you?
Very well, babe.
Super.
Good. Thanks for asking. Talking about McCartney, do you see the Mirror today?
Well, hang on. I've got it. Yeah, I just read it. Everything I just read was in the Mirror.
Yesterday, then, be technical.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Well, they got a picture of Heather McCartney on the, if you can get hold of it, it's very amusing. If you, on the page 3 of the Mirror. She got a drink in her hand. Somebody's obviously taking a photo of her when she's out, and they're implying she's an alcoholic just by having a drink in hand. Then she's got this picture of this quite attractive woman, you know, depending, young, and they're trying to vaguely see, look, this is a stress line as a result of the divorce. And he's staring at this picture saying, where's this stress line? There's not one wrinkle on this woman's face. You're just mad.
Well, you know, you can put any caption you like under a photograph and people will nod, yeah, that's right, that's what it is. Yeah.
What I always wonder is, people who read these papers, I don't, I just browse them, do they actually believe what they're reading, or do they just think the person who wrote this is an idiot?
Unfortunately, even if you don't give the paper any credence, it still lodges in the back of your mind because it's been written down.
I think the reason people buy papers like The Sun now are just for the TV guides, isn't it? It's cheaper than buying a TV magazine.
You know, people fret about what people say on radio. You know, the relevant authorities fret about what people say on their TV. But actually, none of that lodges in your mind as truth as much as what is written down in a newspaper. And you can read it and think, what rubbish. And yet, if you question somebody a couple of weeks later, it will be in there as fact, just because it's been written down.
A newspaper is when it comes to a general election, they're allowed to print what they want, whereas radio has to be balanced, and TV...
Yes, I've never understood that, really. Radio and television has to give equal time to all parties, and yet what most people get their... where most people get their information is in their daily newspapers, which are wildly biased. So it seems like the horse has bolted. It seems a desperate attempt to shut the gate after the horse is bolted, and I don't understand. I mean, it works in America. You can go on what?
You've got to take some ads soon.
Ads? Oh, blimey, yeah, we're way out. Hey, you know what, Rob? I'm going to hardly ever do this, but I'm going to ask you to wait and then come back, all right?
Hey!
We're going to go away to return. Steve... With Robert, part 2. This time he's serious.
Oh, I'm always serious, darling. Stop saying that. Where were we? Newspapers.
I don't know. Yeah, newspapers.
Well, I saw a condition of a newspaper just coming up to the 92 general election the other day in the Sun. Or the Sun. And it seems like weeks before the polling day, they were writing something negative about Neil Kinnock. So one day, he's got to page 3 and just... obese, if you like, middle-aged German woman, as they described it, smiling with horrible teeth, going, "This is how page 3 would look if Kinnock ran the country." It was ridiculous.
Well, the front page was famously, with the last person to leave the country turn out the light.
I don't even get that. I don't understand that.
Well, I think it's that if Labour won at the time, the prospect was so appalling that everyone was going to decamp to Australia or somewhere.
Like Phil Collins and all the...
Yeah. Well, he went to Switzerland. I think he owns Switzerland. Him and David Bowie own Switzerland.
There we are. Is that what David Bowie does, is it? Anyway, Big Brother, you know, they've done this, what's it called, bringing 4 people back.
Yeah.
Ofcom have already had 200 complaints, apparently. I read somewhere. People are not very happy.
Well, I mean, how silly is that to complain about a programme of that nature? I mean, it's just daft. It's not like a political election. You just...
More people vote in this.
Well, yeah. Well, that's... Yes. Yes, they almost certainly do, yeah. But it's not to be taken seriously, really. I mean, if you want to give your 50p to Channel 4, then you're perfectly welcome to do it, but it's not going to make much difference to the actual programme.
I got into the mood of it last night, and I've never done this. I actually voted for someone to go back in.
Did you?
Twice I voted as well.
Who?
And a quid. Michael.
Michael?
Yeah, he's the one with the cat. Religious-ish.
What did you vote for him for?
Oh, I had my reasons.
What are they?
He looks like someone I know. It sounds pathetic.
Okay. Well, you should tell that person to smarten themselves up a bit.
I have told that person.
Right.
And they were quite offended. And tonight, there was a very good programme on TV.
On Saturday night? I seriously doubt
well,
that.
BBC Two have been put an investment into their programming department or something, and they've actually had a series called The History of Light Entertainment.
Right.
And tonight was radio's influence on TV. And I know now radio's the best medium because Jeremy Beadle said so.
Okay. And what has radio's influence on television been?
Well, they went through all the people like Simon D, and then they followed his career as it fell, and he's on the dole. Do you know who he is?
Yeah, Simon D. He was the Jonathan Ross of the 60s, right?
Well, they compared him to Chris Evans, because they were making out, I don't know why, that Chris Evans was an arrogant person that hated people. And a lot of his colleagues were saying this. Is it true? Don't answer that question. Anyway, they were making out he was a horrible guy, and that's why he never got his job. So they went through, like, Noel Edmonds, Tony Blackburn, Kenny Everett, all these people, on how radio has influenced TV more than we think over the last, well, however long TV's been about.
Well, I guess it used to be that Radio 1 used to be a direct line into television because they couldn't find anybody who was just a TV host. They couldn't grow their own talent, so they had to import it from radio.
Well, that's the point they were making. I'm surprised you were on this programme. Everyone else seems to have been on there. That they did the station you used to work for when it launched, and that was a good big threat Radio 1.
Well, I imagine most of the people on that programme were people that the general public have heard of. That's probably why I wasn't on that show.
Well, they were talking about Radio Luxembourg for a long time.
Oh, Radio Luxembourg.
I don't understand Radio Luxembourg. Was Radio Luxembourg a station based in Luxembourg?
In Luxembourg, yeah.
And it was broadcast in this country?
It was broadcast from Luxembourg, as far as I know, with a massively powerful transmitter that, bizarrely, you couldn't actually pick up in Luxembourg. I think it just threw the signal with such force that you couldn't pick your own station up in the country that it was broadcast from. Weird.
They changed the name apparently to Fab FM or something.
I don't doubt it.
You used to work for Luxembourg.
I did, yeah, for 6 months. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you should have been on there. Because Jimmy Savile apparently worked there.
I think a lot of big names went through Radio Luxembourg, yeah, because isn't it the oldest commercial radio station in the world? Am I right about that? Didn't it opened in like 1936 or something?
Really?
And they were getting rid of all of their old, what do they call them? Those very brittle old 10-inch records. What do they call those old things? 78s, of course.
What's that?
They had piles and piles of 78s. This still upsets me, like 20 years later. Because Radio Luxembourg has this huge library of all the stuff that they've ever had, and they're short of space because it's in this old villa in a park, and they've got like 5 radio stations and 3 TV companies in there, and the British service is the least important of all of them. They hated the Brits in there. Anything that went missing, it was always the Brits' fault. We were a bunch of thieving Britos. We were
magpies.
Yeah, exactly. And so, in order to create more space, they decided to, where are we now? 29:45? Well, I'm never going to get this in, am I? Well, I have to come back with this as well. This conversation is like The Godfather. This is going to be a movie in 3 parts.
On FM.
On DAB.
London's LBC 97.3.
0870 90 90 973.
Nick Abbott.
Rob, it feels like you've been on virtually the whole show. We've only spoken for about 30 seconds, but you've been like either side of a break and either side of the news. You're actually a co-host now.
If you want to go on holiday, I'll fill in. You know, I've got experience. I'll do it free.
Right. Yeah, that's too expensive. I'm sorry.
No, it'll up your listeners, I'm sure. It reminds me, Back to the Future 3 is on next week. The worst one.
No, Back to the Future 2 was the worst one.
Back to the Future 2 is on today. It was very good. Actually, no. I used to remember it as a good one, but it was quite bad, actually, think about it.
Back to the Future 3 is great. It is.
You're stupid.
No, I'm not stupid. Back to the Future 3 was tremendous. So was Back to the Future 1. 2 was the problem.
Yeah, well, I think it's... well, Back to the Future 2 and 3 were made at the same time. But I think people...
Apparently so, yeah.
...recognise that 3 was the worst. Anyway, you met...
No, they don't. No one recognises that 3 is the worst. You're completely wrong there.
I think you'll find I'm correct. Look at IMDb, it'll tell you.
I don't care what IMDb says. 2 was the worst, and 3 was, if not the best, then the second best. Definitely. Hands up who agrees with me. Everyone!
I'm sure. My hand's up as well. Anyway, you met Kenny Everett, didn't you?
Yes.
To the point. How did you get to meet Kenny Everett then?
I was a student at Brunel University, and I was doing psychology, and they said, what we want you to do as an experiment is to go out and pick someone off the street and interview them about their life. You know, it's just a basic psychology P101 task. And so I thought, well, I'll do someone in radio, and who's the best? Kenny Everett. So I wrote to his agent, and she set it up for me. And I went along, and he gave me all the time in the world. He was great.
You should pass that advice down to the next generation. People write to you, no, you meet up with them.
Well, I think if anyone wants to go for the best in radio, they'll have to go above me, won't they?
Oh, you have a huge fan base. You know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll let you go to someone else less important than me.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Ta-ra. So he was on for about 3 hours, but what was it he actually called about? I don't know. Hey, you still there? He's gone. Didn't he seem to be on forever? Well, it was partly my fault, because I keep forgetting that there's things that we have to fit in. But, What was he actually calling about? Can you remember, Luce?
Just a chat, really.
Oh, a chat.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy to chat. Here's Wandsworth. Hello, Peter.
Hello. Not what I've called you up for, but if I can make a comment too about that BBC Two programme tonight. Apparently, Kenny Everett was the only person in the radio world in those days who actually sat down and wrote scripts and things and his own studio at his home and did voices, etc., to put into his programme. And also they were saying that people on radio then jumped to television, with one exception, that was Tarrant, who went from television to radio.
That's right.
And the final thing was that Luxembourg, they recorded them in a studio in Mayfair and then flew them out to Luxembourg, the programmes.
Well, not when I was there, they didn't. They forced me to go and live there. World's most boring capital city.
The good news I've got for you, somebody listened somewhere, I just heard that Westminster Council are going to court to take out an ASBO to ban the microphone man from the whole of the West.
Brilliant. The whole of the West End. We'll be on Upper Street before you know it.
The whole of the city of Westminster. Anywhere in Westminster.
So he can go to Camden.
Yes, well, that's not in Westminster, but whether they'll get it is another matter, but they're going to court to try and ban him from the whole of the city, so...
I can't believe that you actually... I mean, how silly is that you have to go to court? I mean, we've just become a silly country.
Yeah, well, he's still at it. I saw him this afternoon again as I walked through Piccadilly, so...
I mean, it should be right and proper that a policeman would just come along and tap him lightly on the bonce with his truncheon and ask him to move along, please.
Well, yeah, I said that once to a cop. He said, no, we've got to have so many complaints, sir, then they have to go to court and take out an ASBO, so...
What a gigantic waste of time and money, though. I mean, it's just daft.
Obviously listening to you, because now they're going to go to court and try and get him banned for the whole of Westminster. So
We've crippled ourselves with this rubbish, haven't we? I mean, we can't get anything done anymore. It's just, we've just become a silly country. It's just silly we've become.
Oh, I thought you'd like to know that.
I do like to know that, Peter.
Okay.
And as soon as you get more information, you let me know, all right?
Okay.
Cheers, mate.
Bye-bye.
It's Tallulah.
Hey, hi, Nick.
Hiya, Tallulah.
Hi. Hello, Peter. Hey, Peter, hi. I met Peter recently.
Oh, really?
I just wanted to say hi to him.
How did you meet him?
I did meet him at the Covent Garden event.
At the what?
I met him at the Covent Garden event.
A Covent Garden event?
Yeah, it was a few months ago.
Is that what you call a date?
And he was...
Struth, Tallulah. You need to move to higher ground, or call us on a landline. Can't hear a word you're saying, dear.
Oh. Hello.
That's better.
Good.
So what have you been up to?
Well, did you know many people call you are my hero?
Did I know that many people call me you are my hero?
Yeah, because your doppelganger has opened a website on MySpace.
I'm not with you, Tallulah.
You know that many people have, there is a doppelganger who has opened a MySpace site called Nick Abbot.
No, I don't think they're pretending to be me, nor is it someone who looks like me. It's just...
Your picture.
Right.
But many people take it serious and say to you that they think you are their hero.
Right.
And I wanted to make sure that you know that you are very popular.
Yeah, with everyone apart from people who listen to this station, yeah.
Why? What's up, man?
Oh, nothing's up. But I'm a big noise on MySpace, eh? Isn't that owned by Rupert Murdoch?
I think so, yeah. And I think it's a brilliant invention. But I have a feeling you are not into it.
Well, I don't really know what it's for. I thought it was for teenagers to organise sex with each other.
Oh,
but apparently not.
No, it's a huge variety by now.
But what little I do know is that people go on there and have 500 friends, which seems ridiculous. Why don't you just go out and have actual friends instead of trying to corral hundreds of different people that you don't actually know? It just seems like, what a waste of time.
Well, you know what? I tell you what, it opened the door for me, knowing that people say, oh, I never knew those two boys had a sister.
The Schenker brothers.
Yeah. And that's quite eye-opening for my personal taste. And for me, it's like sent from heaven, to be honest.
Because this woman here is rock aristocracy. Are you aware of this? Michael Schenker used to be in UFO, right? And the Michael Schenker group, and Rupert Schenker was in the Scorpions.
Rudolph.
Huh?
Rudolph Schenker.
Rudolph, right. Rudolph, the red-nosed Schenker.
Exactly, yeah.
Used to be in the Scorpions. They're German metal aristocracy.
Yeah.
You're not just, some flake who calls every now and again. You're the real deal.
Oh.
Hey, how's the parrot doing, by the way?
The budgie is on my back.
The budgie's on your back.
Yeah, he's cool. He's fantastic.
Is it,
He always says, "Come on!"
Right. Well, a budgie in a rock and roll household wouldn't do the normal, pretty Polly.
Exactly.
Give us a biscuit. It would say, come on. Yeah.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Does it say that?
No.
Well, you want to teach it that?
He says, "I don't care, I'm a rock star."
Aren't you a bit concerned that it might, on your back?
Now I've got a container so he doesn't get on my nerves.
A container?
Music and all these things.
What do you mean, a container?
Well, something like a little bubble that I carry, so he doesn't get on my nerves, and every now and then I just let him fly out and whatever. It's like a rucksack, a little bubble rucksack.
You put the budgie in a rucksack?
Yeah, it's like a cage on a moving cage. Yes.
So, and you take it for a walk, perhaps?
No, because with this one I can just go wherever I want to, because normally it would be restricted from a few rooms where it's dangerous. But with this bubble, I could just take him everywhere. But then I let him out again, let him fly free, then
Pop him back in the bubble. I like the sound of that.
It is cool, I tell you.
I'd like a bubble.
Yes. Well, anyway, you are very well known on MySpace.
On MySpace.
So you don't care.
Right. Okay. Thanks for the news, Tallulah.
Oh, well done.
Ta-da.
Bye.
I think I'd like to try the lightning round again. It's been long enough. I'd like to give it one more go. How's that? So we got a prize for the best, and it's the number is 0870 90 90 973. We're going to. I'll go to the ads and I'll come back and I'll just punch you in off the air. You won't go through Lucy. And the idea of the game is just finish the sentence "I love." We'll end on a positive note this evening, shall we? So this is an ideal opportunity for people who don't normally call a radio show, like me, who would never even dream of doing that. People who don't join in and sit in the background with sitting on their hands. 0870 90 90 973. The idea is I won't ask your name or where you come from or what you're doing or how's your budgie or any of that stuff. You'll just finish the sentence, "I love." That's it. Just have a little think. We'll go do some ads and we'll come back and then we'll punch them up off the air. And the funniest wins a major LBC prize.
Reasons to buy a DAB digital radio. London's LBC 97.3.
0870 90 90 973.
Nick Abbott.
All right, I'll ask one more time and then I'll just forget it. 0870 90 90 973. Perhaps I said it too quick. 0870 90 90 973. I'll do a lightning round and the prize is...
a mug, a mouse mat, a pen, a car sticker. LBC merchandise.
That's not bad. Does it come in a bag?
I'll put it in a jiffy bag.
A jiffy bag, without mentioning any brand names. A jiffy bag, you say?
Yes.
A padded envelope.
A padded envelope.
Right. So it's a mug, a car sticker, a pen...
and a mouse mat.
And a mouse mat.
Yeah.
Mug, car sticker, pen, mouse mat. Hey, that's pretty good. So just complete the sentence, "I love," and we'll go around and around and see how this goes. How many lines do we actually have here?
10.
10. All right, well, I'm not going to attempt it until we get all 10 lit. Because we've got to have more than 10, right? I want like 30 or 40. lightning round being the operative phrase because it goes quickly. Because I won't ask you what your name is. So the people that are ringing now, as soon as it stops ringing, that means you're on the air. So, let's go. Hello?
I love Mrs. Hull.
Now, for personal reasons, I would like to put this guy on hold. But most people won't have any idea what he's talking about. Mrs. Hull is a caller of the old school, from another place. But I'm going to have to exclude you because no one knows who Mrs. Hull is anymore. But thanks anyway, mate. Yes.
I love LBC car stickers, mugs and pens.
No sucking up. Michael.
Red Cards by Wayne Rooney.
Robert.
Oh, I love Back to the Future 2.
It's you and you alone. John.
I love Cats.
Cats? Does he mean the actual Cats or the musical?
I don't know, you didn't ask him.
Did he sound musical to you?
No.
Sean.
I love telling people what Steely Dan really means.
What does Steely Dan really mean?
Do you really want to know?
Well, I don't know, do I?
It's from Naked Lunch and it means a metal dildo.
Let's go with Aberdeen.
I love it when my girlfriend says, okay then.
Northwood.
I love Lucy George.
Vicky.
I love Ian Lee in a tutu.
Sam. Oh, missed it. Sam.
I love cold, soggy feet.
Feet?
Yeah, I like cold, soggy feet. And now when you leave it in a bath too long...
No, there's no and. It's just only one call, only one go per caller. You leave what in a bath too long? Because if it was feet, it would be them, right? It. I don't think we want to go there, do we? A mobile. Hello?
I love my mother-in-law.
Another mobile.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
I love you because...
Of?
Whatever you think.
Marianne.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi. I love Anthea Turner's programme, The Perfect Housewife. I'm addicted to her.
Oh, you don't?
I absolutely love the lady.
Chiswick.
I love Tallulah.
Brick Lane.
I love Chunky Monkey Ice Cream by Ben & Jerry's.
I had that apple pie ice cream. It's very disappointing.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't deserve any other response than that, did it, really? Yeah. Westbourne Park.
I love to go a-wandering.
Yes, hello?
I love the Hey Little Hen Man from the Ian Lee radio show.
Ben.
I love the Daily Mail.
Adrian.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Withheld. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Steve Romford.
Steve.
Hello.
I love
a pint of bitter, because people who drink lager make me titter.
He sounded like, he sounded like Tony Blair on Richard and Judy. He drops all his T's and his H's in order to seem more like a common man. Hello? Hello? There was a tweet there. Hello? Michael.
Hello.
I love.
Me again?
It sounds like you.
The smell of napalm in the morning.
In the morning, it smells like... Victory. Clapham.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
I love life.
It doesn't sound like you like life. It doesn't sound like you like it, let alone love it. Cheer up, mate. It might never happen. Oh, it already has. Kensal Green.
You mean Queen's Park?
Queen's Park.
I love sausages. And I love Lucy's sexy voice. Hey, Lucy, how you doing?
You love sausages?
Yeah.
It's just the way he said it. It's almost worth putting him on hold. Do you think? Can we give a prize for I love sausages?
Okay.
No, I don't think so. Mitchum.
I love blueberry waffles.
I preferred I love sausages. It's just the lascivious way in which he said it. Emma Lemstead.
I love Bill Buckley.
Westbourne Park.
Hello. I love to go wandering along the mountain track.
Barnet.
Hi, I love LBC.
No sucking up. Islington.
I love drugs.
Greenwich.
I love the polish. The polish. I love the polish.
Bracknell.
I love my evil ex-wife, the Black Queen.
Banstead.
I love the new remake of Battlestar Galactica. It is absolutely fantastic.
Hello? Yeah, hello? Too late. Stamford Hill.
I love my grandchildren to bits.
None of these are actually funny, are they? It's just... I mean, thanks for calling and all, but has anyone got any material? Marianne.
Hello?
Marianne.
Hi, darling.
Yes, dear.
I just love my ex-husband, but I can't have him back.
Let's go with the mobile. Hello.
I love horses, they're my friends.
There's something a little bit disturbing about that, but I don't think we can give him a prize either. Congleton.
I love LBCing you.
A mobile.
Hello, Nick.
Yes.
Can I ask you a favour?
Tell me you are.
I'm going to say no, just from the tone of his voice. There was definitely something coming there. Were alarm bells ringing in your mind, Lucy? Yeah. Queen's Park.
I really do love sausages.
Oh, Dave.
Yeah.
I love...
Caravanning.
A mobile.
I love Hezbollah.
Robert.
Oh, for the sake of nostalgia, Sandra, I love you.
Marianne.
I love Bill Buckley.
That's 2 for Bill. Westbourne Park.
I love the boogie. I love the boogie.
I'm going to put you on hold. All right, stay there. You put him on hold by pressing him again, right? That's awful. I love to boogie is the winner so far. You've got to do better than that. Come on. Hello?
Is this LBC?
Yes, I love...
I love Ron Atkinson, and I'm black.
Bedfont. Bedfont.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes. I love the look on somebody's face just as they've missed the bus as he pulls away.
Amersham.
I love Paris in the springtime.
A mobile?
The smell of napalm in the morning.
It smells like...
The...
It smells... You're going to say something other than victory. A mobile.
I love Mrs. Hull still.
Timo.
I love to win.
Barnet.
I love Alan.
You love what?
Steve Allen.
So that's 2 for Bill, 1 for Steve. Lester.
I love you.
Yes, hello.
I just love the cake, Mama.
Greenwich. Greenwich.
I love albino frogs.
Some of these people are worrying. Are they actually our listeners? Oh, hello.
I love men.
Well, all of them?
Yes.
It's just the precise way in which he said yes was funny. Aberdeen.
I love myself thrice daily.
Clapham.
Hello, I love carnival time.
A mobile.
Please, stop, get off the phone.
Hello.
Too much money.
Hello.
It's £1 a minute.
Yes. They were having a domestic. Get off the phone, it's £1 a minute. Is it?
No, it's not.
A mobile. Yellow.
Oh, I love the cake.
You love the cake. Is that what you're saying? Banstead?
I love that one.
Mobile?
Oh, I love my cornflakes in the morning.
What do they smell like? Forest Gate?
Hi, I love hearing all these people trying to be funny.
Nutters. Greater London. That's a bit vague. Hello.
Hello.
I love.
To love.
Button, my baby.
Baby just loves to dance.
Dance. I've got an ad break coming up. All right. I'll take these ones that are ringing, and then that's it. We'll have to make a decision. South Norwood.
I love to eat curry so hot, my bum is burning.
Leicester.
I love you.
Cheshire.
I love it when it runs over my knuckles.
Withheld.
I love tight-fitting rubber pants.
Welling.
I love it when Nick Abbott gets fired.
And Westbourne Park is our winner. Isn't that awful? What was yours again?
Boom, boom, boom. I love to boogie. Jitterbug boogie.
Yes? Any more?
No.
She's all... She, he, we don't really know. We don't really care anymore. I've given up on life. All right, we'll go away and... That was our winner. You win!
I'm so happy.
I'm so upset.
The Amazing Adventures of Cucumber.
LBC 97.3.
0870 9090 973.
Nick Abbott.
Quiz me.
Xbox.
Up.
Body hair.
Down.
Skinny jeans.
Up. Or are they? But they're trying to sell skinny jeans just like they're trying to sell Speedos, but men don't want them. They want to be covered in voluminous clothes like a tent. So I'll say that men said down.
Okay. Male grooming.
Up.
Man bags.
Up.
Piercings.
Because where you put all your stuff, right? I mean, I've got a set of keys that looks like I would open Fort Knox with it. Now, where would you put all that in your watch and your...
Do you have a man bag?
Yeah.
Okay.
A carrier bag, mostly.
That's not a man bag.
All right. Anyway, next.
Piercings.
Up.
Football.
Up.
Steak bleu is your final one.
I don't even know what that means.
Well, blue
Up.
steak.
Well,
Okay.
did I pass?
You got that right.
I passed.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Apparently, people in the UK are happier than they've ever been. 94% say they're hopeful about the future. How many did I get?
11 out of 18.
Tremendous success. And you can't say happiness without saying penis.
FM.
On DAB.
And online.
This
is London.